Chapter 1176. Zhao Ping immediately spoke up for Ma Xiaofeng. How can Tianan fall in love with someone else like this? This is too much. The more Zhao Ping thought about it, the angrier she got. How could this happen? Her younger brother was really a fool. He didn't like Ma Xiaofeng, who was such a good girl. Instead, he fell in love with a shameless woman, who even seduced his own brother-in-law. How could a woman like that be worthy of marrying into the Zhao family? Anyway, she was the first to jump out to object. She definitely couldn't let Mu Hin marry into the Zhao family. Moreover, he had already decided that Ma Xiaofeng was his sister-in-law. No other woman was allowed. Sister Ping. Or you can't say that about Tianan. I think he didn't have a choice. After all, he can't control who he likes. Mu Hin nagged. That won't do. Xiaofeng, don't worry. I'll help you talk to him later. I don't believe that my younger brother can't understand. Also, that bitch Mu Hin is really shameless. She only knows how to seduce people after coming to our village. Now she's even thinking about my Tianan. Zhao Ping huffed angrily. There was a trace of jealousy in her eyes. Zhao Ping was still brooding when she thought about Mu Hin. Ma Xiaofeng pursed her lips and said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping. It's not that simple. Why? Sister Pinger, Tianan's heart has changed, so it's not something that can be resolved with just a few words. When a person's heart has changed, it can't be changed. No matter what others say, it's probably useless. Ma Xiaofeng said dejectedly. That was what she thought in her heart. Her intuition told her that Zhao Tianan had changed his heart and liked Mu Hin. Otherwise, Zhao Tianan's attitude wouldn't have changed so quickly. If he really liked her in his heart, even if there was a matter of 50 taels of silver between them, it was not impossible to reconcile. She believed that as long as Zhao Tianan was willing, he would work hard in this direction and work hard to be with her. Zhao Ping sighed behind Ma Xiaofeng. If that didn't work, then he would have to think of another way. Zhao Ping's eyes turned. Xiaofeng, if that's the case, then we have to think of a way. Ma Xiaofeng raised her head and looked at Zhao Ping. Sister Ping, what should we do? Think of a solution? Do you think you can change heaven's mind? Ma Xiaofeng was looking forward to it. During this period of time, in addition to Zhao Tianan, she had also been looking for other men. But after searching for a long time, she still felt that Zhao Tianan was the most suitable. After all, it wasn't easy to find a man like Zhao Tianan in a village, and it wasn't easy to find one. Zhao Ping pondered for a while, then said to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, since it's hard to change Tianan's mind in a short period of time, why don't we cook the rice and let Tianan marry you directly? This way, won't Mu Hin have no chance? Zhao Ping said it matter-of-factly and didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Ma Xiaofeng suddenly blushed and looked at Zhao Ping shyly. She said to Zhao Ping, Sister Ping, this isn't a good idea. Zhao Ping then persuaded Ma Xiaofeng. Xiaofeng, there's nothing wrong with this. In order to keep Tianan, we have to think of a special way. Don't tell me you want to give Tianan to someone else? Ma Xiaofeng shook her head. No, I don't want to. Chapter 1177. Ma Xiaofeng was silent for a moment, as if she was hesitating. When Zhao Ping saw this, she felt anxious for Ma Xiaofeng, and hurriedly tried to persuade her. I say, Xiaofeng, don't hesitate. Do you want to be with my brother or not? After being pressed by Zhao Ping, Ma Xiaofeng lowered her head and bit her lower lip. Sister Ping, of course I want to. Zhao Ping patted Ma Xiaofeng's shoulder and said to Ma Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng, since you want to be with my brother, then listen to me. Sister Ping, is this really okay? Zhao Ping laughed and said, Yes, of course it's okay. Xiaofeng, you have to know that if something happens between a man and a woman, the man has to take responsibility. My Tianan is not a shameless person. If he does it with you, he will definitely take responsibility for you. After hearing Zhao Ping say this, Ma Xiaofeng was also plotting in her heart whether it was okay or not. In fact, she had heard Zhao Ping's words. If she did it with Zhao Tianan would not go back on his word. Moreover, Zhao Tianan used to like her, so he would not be so ruthless. She also understood Zhao Tianan very well. He was not a heartless person. However, if she really did that, she was not sure what the people in the village would say. If people found out, they would definitely say that she did not behave properly. These words were not pleasant to hear, and she did not want her actions to cause gossip in the village. The villagers were like this. There were many gossipy old women who liked to criticize and nag about other people's affairs from time to time. Ma Xiaofeng was conflicted. She weighed the pros and cons in her heart. Should she do this? Was it worth it? Seeing that Ma Xiaofeng was still conflicted, Zhao Ping'er was very anxious. She said to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, if you continue like this, my brother will really be taken away by that woman Mu Hin. Don't regret it then. I've already helped you to this extent. Why can't you think it through?" Ma Xiaofeng opened her mouth and looked at Zhao Ping'er's anxious face. In the end, she made up her mind and said to Zhao Ping'er, "Sister Ping'er, I'll listen to you. For Tianan, I can do anything." Ma Xiaofeng was afraid that if she did this, she would not be able to do it. She could not possibly regret it in the future. Seeing that Ma Xiaofeng nodded in agreement, Zhao Ping'er heaved a heavy sigh of relief. "Xiaofeng, it's good that you can think it through. I'm just afraid that you can't think it through." Ma Xiaofeng frowned and said to Zhao Ping'er, "But Sister Ping'er, how can we do it? Tianan is ignoring me now. I don't have the chance." Zhao Ping'er was silent for a moment. She was also thinking about this problem. After thinking about it, she said to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, since we can't do it by force, we can think of a way. How about this?" Zhao Ping'er discussed her plan with Ma Xiaofeng. It was nothing more than a trap for Zhao Tianan. Zhao Ping'er would first drug Zhao Tianan, then tell Zhao Tianan that something had happened to her family. She would then trick Zhao Tianan into going to the little forest. After Zhao Tianan went over, the drug would probably start to take effect. Ma Xiaofeng would then wait in the forest and pretend to quietly bump into him. Under the influence of the drug, Zhao Tianan would not be able to control himself and would definitely make a move on Ma Xiaofeng. In this way, the two of them would have sex. After sex, Zhao Tianan would not be able to deny it even if he wanted to. Chapter 1178. She was simply too quick-witted. How could she think of such a good idea? Her younger brother would not be able to escape from Ma Xiaofeng's clutches if she dealt with him this way. As for that Mu Hin, he would be far away in the future, so there was no need to worry about him. After hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, Ma Xiaofeng could not help but blush. She was a little embarrassed. After all, she was a girl and was a little reserved and shy. "Older sister Ping'er, is this really okay? Won't there be any accidents?" Zhao Ping'er patted her chest and promised, "Xiaofeng, don't worry. There won't be any accidents. Trust me. Anyway, when the time comes, as long as Tianan touches you, he will have to take responsibility for you. If you can get pregnant immediately, won't my family have to carry you back in a palanquin with 8 carriers?" Ma Xiaofeng responded shyly, "All right then. Older sister Ping'er, I'll listen to your arrangements." After the two of them chatted for a while, Zhao Ping'er pulled Ma Xiaofeng and said to Ma Xiaofeng, "Xiaofeng, come to my house. I'll ask my mother to teach you how to make breakfast." Ma Xiaofeng was slightly taken aback. She looked at Zhao Ping'er in confusion and asked Zhao Ping'er, "Older sister Ping'er, ask your mother to teach me how to make breakfast? Why?" Zhao Ping'er smiled and said, "Xiaofeng, do you still remember what we talked about setting up a stall?" Ma Xiaofeng nodded heavily in response. Of course she remembered. She was still thinking about it in her heart. However, Zhao Ping'er did not give any response. She could not chase Zhao Ping'er to ask about it. "Older sister Ping'er, don't tell me you have money?" Zhao Ping'er shook her head. "I don't have money now. However, I'll go back and discuss it with my in-laws. If we can set up a stall and earn more money, they will definitely agree." Oh, then older sister Ping'er, talk to them properly. They won't be stupid and agree. Xiaofeng, don't worry. We will be able to set up a stall and earn money very soon. Also Xiaofeng, let me tell you a piece of good news. Ma Xiaofeng looked up at Zhao Ping'er and asked in confusion, "Older sister Ping'er, what's the good news? Hurry up and tell me." "Xiaofeng, Zhao Yin'er's breakfast stall was smashed by someone. So of course Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng to sets to buy a stall. Xiaofeng Xiaofeng Xiaofeng, Xiaofeng aises to eat to Xiaofeng. Now that Zhao Ping'er's stall is gone, it's a good opportunity for us. We can't miss it. Ma Xiaofeng's eyes lit up when she heard Zhao Ping'er's words. Older sister Ping'er, you're so smart. Ma Xiaofeng was not stingy with her praise. This came from the bottom of her heart. For the first time, she felt that Zhao Ping'er was still useful. She wasn't so stupid as to be able to think of this. Zhao Ping'er smiled. Of course, Xiaofeng. In order to make money, of course, we have to be smart. Otherwise, how can we make money? Ma Xiaofeng nodded heavily. Older sister Ping'er, let's hurry up and learn. The sooner we set up the stall, the sooner we can earn money. Okay. Zhao Ping'er smiled and responded. Then, she took Ma Xiaofeng's hand, and the two of them walked towards old Zhao's house. Zhao Ping'er and Liang Jinxiao had discussed this before. They wanted Liang Jinxiao and Ma Xiaofeng to make breakfast. Liang Jinxiao felt that it was nothing and agreed. Chapter 1179. However, what Liang Jinxiao didn't know was that Zhao Yin'er had added a special ingredient to the stuffing that she made, which was the powder made from ground mushrooms. After adding this ingredient, the stuffing became much more delicious and was different from the usual stuffing. Following Liang Jinxiao, Zhao Ping'er and Ma Xiaofeng learned very seriously. They were afraid that they would miss out on something, and the breakfast that they made would not be as delicious as Zhao Yin'er's. By the time Liang Jinxiao finished teaching, it was already getting late. Zhao Ping'er hurried back to the family qin. She would probably have to help cook dinner when she got back. Zhao Ping'er felt depressed when she thought about it. However, it was fine. She would suffer for the next few days. When she came back with a lot of money, the family qin people's attitude would definitely change. With that thought, Zhao Ping'er was elated. She hurried back to the family qin village. She couldn't wait to tell the family qin people about her plan and convince them. Then, she would go to Yang City to set up her stall. Liang Jinxiao was worried that Zhao Ping'er would go back, and the family qin people would criticize her because she didn't get a tael of silver. Therefore, he asked Zhao Ping'er to bring half a caddy of meat back. This way, Zhao Ping'er might not be scolded so much. He would also cook some meat for dinner, so that Zhao Ping'er and Qin Yuan could nourish their bodies. When she returned to the family qin village, Mu Chunfang saw Zhao Ping'er coming back. He quickly went over and asked Zhao Ping'er, how was it? Did you get the money back? Seeing Mu Chunfang's anxious look, Zhao Ping'er felt a little uncomfortable. Mother, no, my mother said that she didn't have any money, so she didn't give it to me. Zhao Ping'er replied. She then raised the meat in her hand and said to Mu Chunfang, but my mother asked me to bring back half a caddy of meat for big brother Yuan to nourish his body. Mu Chunfang glanced at the half caddy of meat in Zhao Ping'er's hand and snorted. With a displeased expression he said, I told you to ask for 1 tael of silver, but you sent it back for half a caddy of meat. I say, why is this last so useless? You can't even get any money. Zhao Ping'er pursed her lips. She was not very happy. Mother, it's not that my mother didn't want to give it to you, but she didn't have much money on hand. My mother said that after their breakfast stall was destroyed, I'm afraid that they won't be able to set up a stall to sell breakfast. Zhao Ping'er said, and explained to Mu Chunfang patiently. When Mu Chunfang heard this, his heart thumped. He opened his mouth and said to Zhao Ping'er, the breakfast stall was destroyed. Yes. Zhao Ping'er nodded. Mu Chunfang's face turned pale for a moment. He patted his thigh and cried, then what should we do? Sigh. Mu Chunfang's reaction made it seem as if the breakfast stall belonged to his family. His heart ached terribly. When Zhao Ping'er saw Mu Chunfang's reaction, the corner of her mouth twitched. She asked Mu Chunfang, Mother, what's wrong with this? Sigh, you lass. If your family's breakfast stall was destroyed, wouldn't you have no money in the future? Then what are you going to do? When that happens, your maternal family won't have any money to supplement you. The more Mu Chunfang thought about it, the more frustrated he felt. He kept muttering in his heart, it's over, it's over. If the third branch could not earn money, then they would definitely not be able to give it to Zhao Ping'er. He was still hoping that Zhao Ping'er could earn more money from her maternal family to supplement their family. Now it seemed like it was impossible. Chapter 1180. Mu Chunfang felt stifled and looked at Zhao Ping with disdain. How unlucky! If Zhao Yiner's breakfast stall had been smashed earlier, she wouldn't have allowed Zhao Ping to marry into the family. It was too late to say all these now. Mu Chunfang glared at Zhao Ping fiercely and almost chased Zhao Ping out of the door. Zhao Ping felt a little strange and said to Mu Chunfang, "Mother, if my family doesn't get any subsidies, then so be it. We can earn money." Mu Chunfang looked at Zhao Ping in confusion and said, "Earn money? I say Ping, you're not dreaming, are you? How can money be earned so easily?" Zhao Ping smiled and said, "Mother, I don't know why you're so sad when you heard that my mother's breakfast stall had been smashed. Actually, this is a good thing. That breakfast stall was set up by my younger sister, and most of the money was taken away by my younger sister. Now that it has been smashed, she must have offended someone. She can't set it up now, but we can set it up. When the time comes, we can rent a stall and sell breakfast like my younger sister. We'll definitely earn money. Mother, I've already asked my mother to teach me how to make breakfast. The taste will be the same as theirs. If their business can be good, why can't ours be good too?" After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Mu Chunfang's eyes turned and felt that Zhao Ping's words made some sense. "Ping girl, is what you said true?" Mu Chunfang quickly asked. "Of course it's true. Mother, if we set up a stall, we'll definitely earn a lot of money. When the time comes, our family Qin will have a good life." Zhao Ping said proudly. Mu Chunfang thought about the time when he went to Yang City and saw the business of Zhao Yiner's breakfast stall. It could be said that Zhao Yiner's breakfast stall's business was very good. In a day, they would earn at least 1 tael of silver. If their family's business was the same as that stall, no, even half of it would be very profitable. Their family Qin was now living in poverty and desperately wanted to get rich and improve their lives. So to them, this was indeed an opportunity. Zhao Ping saw Mu Chunfang's thoughtful expression and seemed to be moved, so she quickly continued, "Mother, when the time comes, we'll be able to set up our stall and make money. We can eat meat every day. And we can even build a big house and not be squeezed in the small room like we are now. When we become a rich family in the village, I'm sure everyone will come to curry favor with us." After Zhao Ping finished speaking, Mu Chunfang was really moved and said to Zhao Ping, "All right, Ping girl, let's set up a breakfast stall too." But mother, what's wrong, Ping girl?" "Mother, setting up a breakfast stall requires capital. When the time comes, we'll need money to rent a stall. But I don't have it with me. Can you take out my dowry?" When it came to Zhao Ping's dowry, Mu Chunfang frowned, obviously not very willing. "What? Take out your dowry?" "Yes, mother, if we want to make money, we have to invest capital. Without capital, how can we make money?" Zhao Ping continued to persuade Mu Chunfang, afraid that Mu Chunfang would disagree. Chapter 1181. Zhao Ping said to Mu Chunfang a little anxiously, "Mother, we only have this one chance. We can't think too much. Don't worry, I think we can definitely earn money." Are you planning for the future? If family Qin throws in your dowry as well, you really won't be able to survive in the future." Mu Chunfang mumbled. "Mother." Zhao Ping was so anxious that she almost stomped her feet. She thought to herself, seriously, Mu Chunfang wants to get rich, but is unwilling to invest in capital. How can there be such a good thing in this world? Mu Chunfang and Zhao Ping's movements attracted Qin Yuan's attention. Qin Yuan shouted outside the house, "Mother, Zhao Ping, what are you two shouting about outside?" Zhao Ping's eyes turned, and she hurriedly said to Mu Chunfang, "Mother, why don't we go and talk to Big Brother Yuan and see what he has to say?" Mu Chunfang nodded in agreement. Her son was smart and had many ideas. It would be good to listen to Qin Yuan's opinion. The two of them went into the house together, and Zhao Ping excitedly explained her idea. Qin Yuan's eyes lit up when he heard it. Once he thought of a good way to earn money, he could not control his excitement. These few days, It was precisely because of this matter that he was depressed to death. He did not know what method he could use to make himself successful and not let others look down on him. Now that he heard Zhao Ping'er's words, he felt that this was a good opportunity that the heavens had bestowed upon him. Thus, he hurriedly said to Mu Chunfang, "Mother, just take out Zhao Ping'er's dowry and let him set up this stall. We should be able to earn money." Mu Chunfang confirmed, "Yuan, is that really the case? You have to think carefully. If we lose Ping'er's dowry, our future will be even more difficult." Qin Yuan had a win-or-die mentality. No matter what, he had to give it a try. What if he succeeded? If Zhao Ping'er's stall could be as good as Zhao Yan'er's, or even half as good, then it would be a good opportunity for him to make a fortune. If he did not try this method, he was afraid that there would be no other better method. Mu Chunfang sighed. "All right then. Yuan, since you say so, mother will definitely not have any objections. Then take out Ping'er's dowry." Yes. Qin Yuan nodded his head vigorously. Originally, Qin Yuan was lying in bed half dead. Now that he saw hope in life, even his pair of eyes became much clearer. Previously, when he saw Zhao Ping'er, he hated her very much. Now that he saw Zhao Ping'er, he felt that Zhao Ping'er was much more pleasing to the eye. Zhao Ping'er, do it well. If you do well, you won't be short of benefits in the future. Qin Yuan nagged. Yes. Don't worry, big brother Yuan. I know. It's good that you know. Qin Yuan snorted lightly. "Oh right, big brother Yuan, I'm not doing it alone. I'm doing it together with Ma Xiaofeng. You know that my skills are not good at all. Xiaofeng's skills are good, so I'll be providing the capital, and she'll be providing the skills. When the time comes, we'll have to split the profits with her." Zhao Ping'er still explained the matter clearly to Qin Yuan. When Qin Yuan heard this, he frowned and was somewhat displeased. "Zhao Ping'er, you idiot. What you mean is that we'll be providing the capital, and the others won't be providing a single cent, and we'll split the profits with her." Chapter 1182. No, then tell me. What is it then? Qin Yuan asked. Zhao Ping'er felt conflicted. She knew that she probably wouldn't be able to convince Qin Yuan. Instead, it was Qin Yuan who said that she was stupid. Actually, if it wasn't for Ma Xiaofeng, she probably wouldn't have been able to run that breakfast stall alone. After all, Ma Xiaofeng had the skills to cook, but she didn't. If this breakfast stall was set up, it would be equivalent to her forking out the money, and Ma Xiaofeng putting in the effort. They would work together and earn money together. No one would say who would benefit from it. However, Qin Yuan probably wouldn't think so, and wouldn't be willing to share the money he earned with others. If she were to say the reason, Qin Yuan would probably scold her for being useless. Since that was the case, she might as well not say it. "No, big brother Yuan, little Feng will also fork out money. The two of us will fork out money together. It's just that little Feng definitely won't fork out as much as us. She'll probably only fork out 40%. But her skills are good. Without her, we probably won't be able to make such delicious food. The business will also be affected. So when we earn money, we'll split it equally with her." Zhao Ping'er said. Luckily, her parents agreed to lend her money previously. Otherwise, she would be done for. When she got her parents' money, she would say that Ma Xiaofeng forked out the money. Then, when she earned money, she would naturally be able to split it with Ma Xiaofeng. After hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, Qin Yuan's expression softened a lot. "That's a good idea." Yes. Big brother Yuan, let's settle it like this. We'll take care of the stall later," Zhao Ping'er said excitedly. Qin Yuan nodded and replied, "Zhao Ping'er, you're finally useful." She didn't know whether Qin Yuan's words were a compliment or an insult. However, Zhao Ping'er was still very happy. Hee, big brother Yuan, don't worry. We'll get better and better in the future," Qin Yuan responded faintly. Seeing that Qin Yuan didn't seem to want to bother with her, Zhao Ping'er tactfully said to Qin Yuan, "Big brother Yuan, you rest well first. I'll go out and cook with mother. I brought back half a caddy of meat tonight to nourish your body." Qin Yuan responded indifferently again. Glancing at Zhao Ping'er's face that was so ugly that it could not be seen, he felt a trace of sorrow in his heart. At this moment, She felt that Zhao Ping was not as annoying as she had thought before. If this time, Zhao Ping could really help him earn money and make their family Qin rich, it would be fine to keep Zhao Ping let Zhao Ping be his concubine, or let Zhao Ping be with his brother Qin Chuan. It wouldn't be necessary to chase Zhao Ping away. Zhao Ping left the house eagerly and helped Mu Chunfang with his chores. Zhao Ping endured Mu Chunfang's scolding and berating. Her attitude towards Mu Chunfang was very respectful. On the other side, Zhao Yin was also busy sorting the tea leaves. She packed the tea leaves into ceramic jars and put them away properly. She looked at the exquisite ceramic jars and leaned closer to take a sniff. A refreshing fragrance wafted into her nostrils. It smells good. Zhao Yin took a deep breath. She put the ceramic jars away properly. When someone came to buy them later, she could sell them. Zhao Yin ran to the barren hills in the village to take a look. The hills were filled with weeds and were relatively barren. Basically, people wouldn't want this kind of land to grow crops. Chapter 1183. Only Li Zheng agreed, saying that if he sold the barren mountain to her, she could only use it if she bought it back. When Zhao Yin thought of this, she did not delay and went straight to Li Zheng. She explained the situation and said that she planned to buy the barren mountain. Li Zheng was a little curious. Why would Zhao Yin take a fancy to a barren mountain out of the blue? After all, in the eyes of ordinary people, this mountain was useless. Yin lass, are you sure you want to buy it? Li Zheng asked with uncertainty. Zhao Yin nodded heavily. Uncle Li Zheng, I'm sure I want to buy it. I wonder if I can buy it? Li Zheng chuckled. Of course you can buy it. This mountain is deserted, so it's still deserted. Why don't you take it back, Yin lass? It can still be of some use. That's fine. Uncle Li Zheng, how much do you want for this barren mountain? I'll pay you, Zhao Yin said. If you really want this barren mountain, the village can give it to you if we can't fork out the money. Zhao Yin frowned slightly. Uncle Li Zheng, there's still 5 taels of silver? Isn't that a little expensive? Haha Yin lass, it's not expensive. 1 mu of barren land costs 1 tael of silver. Looking at the mountain, it's more than 5 mu. I've already given you a lot of money. Girl, you can't bargain with me, Li Zheng said with a serious face. But in the seriousness, there was a hint of a smile in his eyes. Zhao Yin smiled and said, All right then, Uncle Li Zheng. 5 taels of silver it is. All right. Yin lass, pay the money. I'll go to Yang City tomorrow to settle the procedures for you. All right, thank you, Uncle Li Zheng. Zhao Yin thanked him. Uncle Li Zheng, I don't have money with me now. I'll send it over tonight. Let's go back and cook first. Zhao Yin called out. At this moment, she just wanted to get busy quickly, so that she could cultivate the barren mountain and plant tea leaves. When the time came, she could directly pick tea leaves on the barren mountain. It was much more convenient than going up the mountain to pick tea leaves. When she earned money, she could cultivate more land and plant tea leaves. This way, she could take care of her lover and wait to earn money. Li Zheng nodded with a smile and replied, It's fine, Yin lass. There's no rush. You should get busy with your matters first. It's okay to send it over earlier. Uncle Li Zheng, I'll go back first. Okay, Yin lass. After Li Zheng's eyes, Li Zheng at this time, Mulan's sister-in-law Madame Qi was quarreling with other village women. When she was about to come to Li Zheng to judge, she saw Zhao Yin coming over and buying wasteland from Li Zheng's hands. She suddenly became curious. This Zhao Yin what is she trying to do? Was she stupid? Who didn't know that it was impossible to grow food on barren land? If she bought it with 5 taels of silver, she would definitely suffer a loss. Li Zheng's eyes turned. She felt that it shouldn't be so simple. This Zhao Yin was more shrewd than anyone else. She probably bought this barren land for a big purpose, in order to earn a lot of money. She thought about how her second sister-in-law and Zhao Yin had been running into the mountains every day for the past 2 days. She didn't know what they were trying to get back. Now that she thought about it, Zhao Yin probably bought the barren mountain because she didn't want to go through the trouble of running into the mountains every day. It would be much more convenient to plant that thing on the barren mountain. Chapter 1184. Madame Qi was thinking that if Zhao Yin'er was so eager to buy the barren mountain, since this thing was very important to her, then she would buy it in advance. Zhao Yin'er would naturally not be able to buy it. If Zhao Yin'er wanted to get it, then she could only buy it from her. At that time she could raise the price. She could ask Zhao Yin'er for 10, 15, or even 20 taels of silver for something that could be bought with 5 taels of silver. Anyway, as long as Zhao Yin'er wanted it, no matter how high the price was, it could only be obtained from her. In this way, she could double the amount of money she earned. Zhao Yin'er, that little b*th, was very rich. It would be even better if she could make a good meal out of her. Thus, Madame Qi made up her mind to buy the barren mountain back first. After eagerly entering Li Zheng's house, Li Zheng raised his eyebrows and asked, "Family Zhu's eldest daughter-in-law, why have you come to my house?" Li Zheng usually saw Madame Qi come over because of trivial matters with the women in the village, so it was the same for this time. Li Zheng was most annoyed with the quarrels between the women in the village, and the fact that he had to be the judge of such trivial matters. It was very uncomfortable for him, a grown man, to be sandwiched in the middle. However, what surprised Li Zheng this time was that Madame Qi did not come because of this matter. Madame Qi's heart was now thinking about the matter of money. How could she be in the mood to bicker with other women? "Lord Li Zheng, I'm here to buy the barren mountain from you," Madame Qi said with a smile. Li Zheng was slightly stunned and looked at Madame Qi with uncertainty. "What, by the barren mountain?" "Yes, Lord Li Zheng, it's the barren mountain in our village," Madame Qi explained. Li Zheng was slightly stunned and was a little curious. Why did Madame Qi run to him to talk about this matter when Zhao Yin'er just came over to talk to him about it? Could it be that this barren mountain had some special function? Everyone in the village knew about it, but he was the only one who did not know. Seeing that Lord Li Zheng was stunned, Zhao Yin'er said, "What's wrong, Lord Li Zheng, can't I buy it?" Li Zheng frowned and said to Madame Qi, "It's not that I can't sell it, but Yin'er already told me that she also wants to buy this barren mountain." Madame Qi said with a smile, "Lord Li Zheng, she said so. Isn't this barren mountain still in your hands? Has she applied for the land deed?" Li Zheng shook his head and said, "I don't have that. As for the deed, it can only be done tomorrow." Madame Qi chuckled as she continued, "Isn't that enough? Her name hasn't been written on the title deed, so it's not hers." Li Zheng frowned and said to Madame Qi, "But family Zhu's eldest daughter-in-law, Yin'er already came over to tell me that she wants to buy it. Although the land deed is not in her name now, buying things should be done on a first-come first-served basis. Yin'er came over before you, so you said it first. If I want to sell it, I naturally have to sell it to her first." A glint flashed across Madame Qi's eyes. After 2 rounds, she continued to speak to Lord Li Zheng. "Lord Li Zheng, you can't say it like that. The so-called first-come first-served can't be said with words. I think whoever wants to buy this barren mountain should be the one who brings the money to you first. Otherwise, how can it be called a business transaction? Lord Li Zheng, she said she wants to buy it. Has she paid?" Chapter 1185. "This, I don't have it either." Madame Qi had a look of understanding and said to Li Zheng, "Lord Li Zheng, if that's the case then it's fine. You can't be partial to Zhao Yin'er. She said that she wants to buy the barren mountain. Now that she hasn't even given you the money, it doesn't count. Wait here, I'll go back and get you the money now. After you pay the money, you have to sell the barren mountain to me." Li Zheng's face was conflicted. He was indeed partial to Zhao Yin'er, but Madame Qi's words didn't make sense. A transaction like this had to be paid before it counted. Zhao Yin'er's greeting didn't count as buying the barren mountain. "This? All right, Lord Li Zheng, don't say any more. Just wait for me at home. I'll bring the money to you soon." With that, Madame Qi came out of Li Zheng's room and ran in the direction of her house. Family Zhu's money was in her hands. Originally, Mrs. Zhu was in charge of the money, but now, she was in charge of the money. Although Zhu Dania didn't treat her well now, the higher-ups still listened to her. Madame Qi was very satisfied with this. When family Zhu separated from the family, they didn't calculate the money on the surface. The first branch secretly saved up some money. Together with the original money, They had a total of 6 or 7 taels of silver. Therefore, 5 taels of silver was very easy for Madame Chi to take out. She didn't need to discuss this matter with Zhu Dainiu. She was afraid that Zhu Dainiu wouldn't agree and miss such a good opportunity to earn money. After she earned the money from Zhao Yin'er, Zhu Dainiu wouldn't be able to say anything about her. Instead, he would praise her for earning more money. Thinking of this, Madame Chi felt very happy. If she could transfer 5 or 10 taels of silver to Zhao Yin'er, it wasn't a small sum of money. She could buy more delicious food back home to eat secretly, buy more clothes, and buy some rouge, face powder, or jewelry. Looking at what she was wearing now, it was really too tattered and too shabby. She couldn't dress up properly. She was not very good looking to begin with. Now that she was old and did not dress up, she naturally looked like a haggard old woman. How could she compare to a young and beautiful girl like Mu Hin? That was why Zhu Dainia's heart was hooked by Mu Hin. He did not even look at her. Once she earned enough money and dressed herself up properly, she would be able to become prettier. Perhaps Zhu Dainiu would change his mind and treat her as well as before. Madame Chi returned home happily. She took out the money from the bottom of her box and quickly counted 5 taels of silver. Then, she ran to Li Zheng's house, afraid that she could not catch up with Zhao Yin. When they arrived at Li Zheng's house, Madame Chi paid the money and happily said to Li Zheng, "Lord Li Zheng, I've sent the money over to you. You can't be biased. This barren mountain is mine. You have to get the deed done for me tomorrow." Madame Chi's money was forcefully stuffed into Li Zheng's hands. Li Zheng looked at the 5 taels of silver in his hands. He was full of helplessness and did not know what to say. Since Madame Chi sent the money over in advance before Zhao Yin'er, he couldn't directly say that the barren mountain was not sold to her. But to Zhao Yin'er, if this matter was spread out, people would probably say that he was unfair. Moreover, with Madame Chi's personality, she would definitely make a scene. Although Li Zheng's heart was biased towards Zhao Yin'er, in order to avoid unnecessary trouble in the future, Lord Li Zheng felt that it was better to forget it. Chapter 1186. The only thing Li Zheng was worried about was how Zhao Yin'er would react when she heard the news. He was still vaguely worried. What if Zhao Yin'er also came out to cause trouble? Zhao Yin'er relied on the heir presumptive. He was stuck in the middle and felt really uncomfortable. Forget it. He didn't want to think about it anymore. The more he thought about it, the more annoyed he felt. Li Zheng said to Madame Chi, "All right then. Family Zhu's eldest daughter-in-law. I'll get the title deed done for you tomorrow. This barren mountain is yours." Madame Chi agreed happily. She just waited for Zhao Yin'er to hear the news and come over to buy it from her. Then, she would blackmail Zhao Yin'er. "All right, Lord Li Zheng. I'll go back first then." Go back. Li Zheng waved at Madame Chi impatiently and helplessly. After Zhao Yin'er went back, she first went to Liang Jinxiao's place. She made do with Liang Jinxiao for dinner at night, so that she wouldn't have to cook alone, which would be more troublesome. When she went to old Zhao's house, she saw that the second branch was also happy. Zhao Yin'er asked Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, what happened to second uncle and second aunt's family? Why do they all look so happy?" Liang Jinxiao smiled and said, "They're so happy. Of course it's something good." In the afternoon, young Master Zheng sent someone over to deliver something. He said that he wanted to marry Jing so the marriage was set. After listening to Liang Jinxiao's explanation, Zhao Yin'er finally understood. So that's what happened. During this period of time, because of this matter, the people of the second branch were worried sick. Now that young Master Zheng finally came over, the second branch didn't need to discuss it, and immediately agreed. She was afraid that if she hesitated, the person that young Master Zheng liked would leave. At that time, such a good marriage would be enough. She couldn't find a better one. However, Zhao Yin'er knew very well that the marriage had been delayed for so long. Young Master Zheng must have asked the matchmaker to find a girl from another family. However, he couldn't find a girl more suitable than Zhao Yin'er, so he looked for her again. If it were Zhao Yin'er or someone with some backbone, they would definitely refuse. This young Master Zheng obviously did not put them in his eyes. Who would be willing to be a spare tire? However, Old Zhao's family was greedy for young Master Zheng's money, and Zhao Jing'er wanted to marry into a rich family. She didn't want to live a hard life, so she didn't object. Zhao Yin could only shake her head and sigh in her heart, as if she had gotten a treasure and taken advantage of it. However, this was someone else's business. It had nothing to do with her, so she wouldn't interfere. As long as she was happy, it was fine. By the way, Yun'er, your second cousin's wedding is coming soon, Liang Jinxiao said with a smile. Zhao Yun'er's eyes lit up with surprise. Really, mother? Liang Jinxiao nodded with a smile. Of course it's true. Why would I lie to you about this? Is it that girl called Jinju? Zhao Yun'er continued to ask with some anticipation. Liang Jinxiao continued to nod. Yes, it's that girl. That's great. Second cousin happens to like her. That girl is not bad either. It's good that they get together. Zhao Yun'er was happy in her heart. Her second cousin was a good person. So Zhao Yun'er hoped from the bottom of her heart that Zhao Tianhu could find a good marriage with a good girl. Chapter 1187. In this way, old Zhao's family really had a lot of happy events to hold during this period of time. If it was Zhao Xinhui's wedding, Zhao Jing'er's wedding, and Zhao Tianhu's wedding, they would have to hold 3 weddings at once. It would be very busy. However, for such a happy event, the villagers preferred to be busy. The busier they were, the happier they would be. After all, when they held a wedding, they could still receive gifts. In general, it was just that they were busy, and they would not lose much money holding a banquet. Mother, did second cousin brother set a date with the bride's family for his wedding? How did they discuss it so quickly? Zhao Yun could not hold back her curiosity, and continued to ask Liang Jinxiao. Liang Jinxiao was not impatient. Instead, he laughed and said, Haha, it seems that the date has been set. It shouldn't be too far away. Maybe they think that our old Zhao's family conditions are good, and the girl is also satisfied, so they agreed to let her marry into our family. Zhao Yun'er nodded. Mother, what about second cousin brother's skills? He didn't ask for much, right? Zhao Yun'er saw that Zhou Damiai's attitude towards Jinju was very bad. She wondered if Zhou Damiai would rely on this daughter to extort a sum of money when Jinju got married. Liang Jinxiao said, No, he only asked for 2 taels of silver. Most people in our village pay this price for a wife. It's not excessive. Zhao Yun'er listened. 2 taels of silver as a betrothal gift was indeed quite normal and not excessive. He became even more curious in his heart. In this case, this Zhou Damiai was not as bad as she appeared to be. She treated Jinju well. At least Jinju had found a good family to marry into when she married Zhao Tianhu. Moreover, she did not ask for much money. Compared with how Mulan's family treated Mu Hin, this was much better. Zhao Yun'er thought that maybe not everyone was so bad. Some people who seemed to be bad had a good side. At the end of the day, human nature was simply too mysterious. Under normal circumstances, it was impossible to figure it out. Zhao Yun'er smiled. Mother, this is good. I estimate that second cousin brother's marriage is 80% successful. It seems that we have to congratulate him in advance. Liang Jinxiao followed behind Zhao Yun'er and smiled. Yes, we have to congratulate your second cousin brother. Speaking of which, our old Zhao family has so many happy events recently. Liang Jinxiao's words fell into Zhao Baoshan's ears. Zhao Baoshan also looked very happy. He laughed and said to Liang Jinxiao, Haha, our family indeed has a lot of happy events. There have been so many happy events recently. It must be related to the ancestors' blessing. Speaking of this, Liang Jinxiao continued Zhao Baoshan's words. Yes, father. It must have something to do with the blessing of our ancestors. Didn't we go up the mountain to build a tomb a while ago? After the tomb was built, good things happened one after another. Zhao Baoshan stroked his beard and nodded with a smile. Yes. Third daughter-in-law, you're right. If you didn't mention it, I wouldn't have thought of it. Now that you mention it, I feel that it really has something to do with the ancestor's tomb. I guess the ancestor was happy and blessed our family. Sigh, if I had known this, I would have built the tomb earlier. Our family would have had happy events earlier. Liang Jinxiao replied, Yes, father. But it's not too late now. The happy events have already happened. Our family's situation is not bad. Chapter 1188. Yes. Let's make a plan. We have to prepare more paper money when we visit the graves during the Qingming festival. When we have money, we have to burn more for our ancestors, so that they can have a better life in the afterlife. Zhao Baoshan sighed again. Zhao Yuner listened from the side, and could not help but want to laugh. What her mother and Zhao Baoshan said was really mysterious. It was not strange at first, but after their interpretation, it seemed like a supernatural event. Seeing that Zhao Yuner wanted to laugh, Liang Jinxiao poked Zhao Yuner and said very seriously, "Yuner girl, don't laugh. Don't doubt it. Mother and your grandfather are telling the truth." Zhao Yuner chuckled and agreed. Yes. Mother, you're right. Mother will prepare some things later, and burn them in front of our ancestors' graves, so that our ancestors can bless you. It's best if you have a happy event this year. Liang Jinxiao nagged. Although there were many happy events in old Zhao's family this year, her family only had one. After marrying Zhao Ping'er, Liang Jinxiao was now thinking about Zhao Yuner. Her family would only be complete when both of her daughters were married. As for Zhao Tianan and Zhao Tianfu, both of them were not that old, so there was no need to be anxious now. Zhao Yuner's mouth twitched a few times, and she said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, there's no need, right?" Yes, there's definitely a need. Zhao Baoshan also said from the side, "Yuner girl, let your mother serve you. Who knows, your happy event might follow." Zhao Yuner was a little helpless. "Okay then, mother. If you like to cause trouble, go ahead." "Okay, then mother will prepare some things in 2 days." Zhao Yuner smiled embarrassedly, not knowing what to say. After dinner, Zhao Yuner went back to get 5 taels of silver, and prepared to send it to Li Zheng. However, when she arrived at Li Zheng's house, she was told by Li Zheng that the barren mountain had been sold. Zhao Yuner looked at Li Zheng in confusion. "Uncle Li Zheng, what the hell is going on? I just came over to tell you. How long has it been? I just went home to get some money. How could it be bought by someone else?" Li Zheng smiled. Zhao Yuner was still a little angry, and felt that it was ridiculous. No one would feel comfortable if the matter that they had discussed was not told. Li Zheng helplessly looked at Zhao Yuner. "Yuner girl, what you said is indeed true. But when you came, the barren mountain wasn't sold yet. After you left, the barren mountain was sold." Zhao Yuner's frown deepened. "Uncle Li Zheng, why? Wasn't I the one who said it? You didn't agree?" Li Zheng sighed and said, "Ai Yuner girl, don't be angry. Listen to me slowly. What's going on? I didn't want it to happen either, but I really had no choice." Zhao Yuner tried hard to calm herself down, and listened to what Li Zheng had to say. Li Zheng then explained the situation in detail. Zhao Yuner could not help but want to curse. Madam Qi. This woman was too shameless. Although Li Zheng had his own helplessness, if this matter got out, it would be a sale without payment. Everyone would definitely think that it should be like this. However, Zhao Yuner just did not feel comfortable. Chapter 1189. Li Zheng said to Zhao Yuner apologetically. Zhao Yuner knew that it was useless to make things difficult for Lord Li Zheng now. Madam Qi was obviously going against her. She purposely bought the mountain, so that she could only buy it from her. At that time, Madam Qi would definitely offer a higher price, which would be more than 5 taels of silver. Zhao Yuner was very clear about Madam Qi's scheme. Seeing that Zhao Yuner did not speak, Li Zheng sighed again. "Yuner, if you really want to buy that barren mountain, you should quickly discuss it with Family Zhu's eldest daughter-in-law, and see if he can give it to you." Zhao Yuner responded faintly. She walked out of Li Zheng's house, and went straight to Family Zhu. She wanted to ask Madam Qi if she had the same idea as Madam Qi. Family Zhu was busy cooking in the kitchen when it was dinner time. Madam Qi was very happy, because she bought the barren mountain today. She lay in the room in a daze, thinking about how to spend the money she earned from Zhao Yuner. She was so engrossed in her thoughts that she even forgot about the time to cook. Zhu Dainiu came back from working in the fields. He thought that he could eat at home, but when he came back, he found that the table at home was cold, and there was no food at all. Unlike his second brother's house, there was a table set up outside with fragrant food on it. Smelling the aroma, Zhu Dainiu heard his stomach growl. He was a little hungry. At this time, Zhu Qiao ran out and pulled Zhu Dainiu's hand. "Father, I'm hungry. Father, I want to eat so much." Zhu Dainiu touched Zhu Qiao's head and asked, "Where's your mother? Hasn't she cooked for you?" Zhu Qiao shook her head. "Father, she hasn't. Mother is lying in the room. She seems to have fallen asleep, so she hasn't cooked." When Zhu Dainiu heard this, his face immediately darkened. He frowned and was very displeased. His wife was really too lazy. He worked himself to death in the fields, but she didn't even bring the children, and went to sleep in the room. Because of this, he didn't even have a hot meal when he came back. The children were also hungry. Zhu Dainiu walked into the room angrily. With a bang, he kicked the door open. Madame Qi, who was lying in bed in a daze, was shocked. She jumped out of bed. "What's wrong?" Madame Qi thought that something had happened at home. When he jumped up, he realized that the person he saw was Zhu Dainiu. Why did you kick the door open? What if he broke the door with a kick? Don't you know how to be gentle? Madame Qi nagged at Zhu Dainiu. Zhu Dainiu snorted. "Why did you kick the door open? I came in to teach you a lesson, you lazy woman." Only then did Madame Qi realize that Zhu Dainiu's face was dark, and he looked angry. "Ah." Madame Qi was stunned. Then she asked nervously, "Dainiu, what did I do wrong again?" "What did you do wrong? Can't you see what time it is? You didn't eat anything wrong. Do you want to starve your husband or your children?" Zhu Dainiu questioned angrily. Madame Qi looked puzzled and asked meekly, "Ah, is it time to eat?" Chapter 1190. If she had known the time, she definitely wouldn't have slept for so long. Speaking of which, it was all because of this barren mountain. If she didn't have sweet dreams, she naturally wouldn't feel that time had passed so quickly. Zhu Dainiu's face became even colder. "Are you too idle at home every day? You don't even remember the time to cook. Do I have to bring you to work in the heaven and earth?" Madame Qi replied weakly, "Dainiu, don't be angry. I just accidentally forgot. Besides, there's still mother at home. I don't have to cook dinner alone. Mother can cook too." Madame Qi now put the blame on Mrs. Zhu. She cursed in her heart. That old woman had been too lazy these days. She had been counting on her to do the work all day, but she didn't even reach out to help. Now, she was being scolded by Zhu Dainiu. Zhu Dainiu felt that Madame Qi was simply hopeless. This lazy woman. It must be because he treated her too well. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so lawless. "You're really good at twisting words and forcing logic. You're lazy. Don't give me so many excuses. Look at second sister-in-law, she is so diligent. Every time, she cooks the food well and waits for second brother to come back. But you are lazy every 2 to 3 days. If you are like this again, if you don't change, I will divorce you." Madame Qi's heart tightened when she heard this. If she was divorced, it would be embarrassing when she returned to her maternal family. Women in ancient times were most afraid of being divorced by their husbands. They felt that it was a very shameful thing. Basically, women who were divorced by their husbands' families weren't welcomed back to their maternal families. Madame Qi thought that Zhu Dainiu had already fallen in love with another woman. If this gave him an excuse, he would really divorce her. Then she didn't know what to do. Thus she hurriedly said to Zhu Dainiu, "Xiao Er's father, don't be angry. I'll cook for you right now." With that, Madame Qi quickly got up from the bed and ran to the kitchen with a jolt of her buttocks. Not long after, smoke began to rise from the kitchen, and the sound of cooking could be heard. Zhu Dainiu was still frowning, his face full of displeasure. The more he looked at the Qi family, the more he despised them. What a useless person. Not only was he not good-looking, but he was also lazy and didn't like to work all day. His house was filthy, not even half as clean as his second brother's house. In addition to this, his wife also liked to stir up trouble in the village and quarrel with other women. Because of this, many men complained in front of him and asked him to teach Madame Qi a lesson. Previously, he still had some leeway in his heart, but now, he felt that he really shouldn't be soft-hearted. He should teach the Qi family a lesson, so that they would know the immensity of heaven and earth. While Madame Qi was cooking, Zhu Daniu waited in the courtyard with Zhu Qiaoer. Even if they were hungry now, there was nothing they could do. They could only wait for Madame Qi to finish cooking before they could eat. Because Zhu Qiaoer was too hungry, she pulled Zhu Daniu's hand and said coquettishly, "Father, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry that my stomach hurts. Qiaoer wants to eat. Second aunt's food smells so good." As Zhu Qiaoer spoke, she rubbed her little belly. Zhu Daniu frowned, feeling a trace of heartache. After all, she was his biological daughter. As a father, how could he bear to see his child starve? Chapter 1191. Thus he comforted Zhu Qiaoer. "Qiaoer, wait a moment. Your mother is cooking now and will be done soon. Bear with it a little longer. Father is hungry too." Zhu Qiaoer said with an aggrieved face. "Father? But what? But Qiaoer is really too hungry." Zhu Daniu sighed helplessly. His resentment towards Madame Qi deepened. It was all that lazy woman's fault. Otherwise, his daughter wouldn't have been starved to this extent. Zhu Daniu patted Zhu Qiaoer's head and comforted her. "All right, Qiaoer. Father can't make anything for you to eat. Next time, if you're hungry, don't bear with it yourself. Tell your mother, and ask her to make something for you. If she doesn't cook, tell me later and see how I'll deal with her." Zhu Qiaoer nodded. "Yes, father. Qiaoer understands." "Good girl." Zhu Daniu smiled. Mulan's family was eating at the side. When she heard Zhu Qiaoer's words, Mulan couldn't bear it. Although her brother and sister-in-law were a little weird, the children were innocent. No matter what, Zhu Qiaoer was her niece and called her second aunt. Thus Mulan waved at Zhu Qiaoer. "Come, Qiaoer. Come to second aunt." Zhu Qiaoer looked at Zhu Daniu and asked for Zhu Daniu's opinion. Zhu Daniu patted Zhu Qiaoer's head. "Go, Qiaoer." "Yes." Zhu Qiaoer responded and shyly went to Mulan. She called out to Mulan, "Second aunt. Qiaoer, are you hungry?" Mulan asked Zhu Qiaoer with concern. "Yes." Zhu Qiaoer nodded softly and responded. "Come. Then eat at second aunt's place first. Second aunt will get some rice for you." "Okay," Zhu Qiaoer responded in a weak voice. Children weren't like adults. They wouldn't be unreasonable and refuse. If he was hungry, then he was hungry. Since there was a chance to eat, he naturally nodded in agreement. "Second sister-in-law, this is not good," Zhu Daniu asked embarrassedly. After all, they had separated from the family. If they ate Mulan's food, it would be taking advantage of Mulan's family. Mulan smiled and said, "What's wrong with that? It's too much trouble for you. Your family's food was also bought with money," Zhu Daniu said. Mulan smiled and waved her hand. "It's okay, big brother. How much food can a child eat? What's more, Qiaoer is really hungry. Children should eat when they're hungry. Otherwise, it wouldn't be good if they starve their stomachs." "Ah, thank you, second sister-in-law," Zhu Daniu said gratefully. "Big brother, you are too polite. Qiaoer is also my niece. What's wrong with eating a bowl of rice from my family?" Mulan said indifferently. These words made Zhu Daniu feel even more uncomfortable. Thinking about how he treated his second sister-in-law's family, he felt that he had gone overboard. They didn't care so much about his family, but he kept talking about small things all day long. As Mulan spoke, she had already scooped a bowl of rice for Zhu Qiaoer and handed it to her. "Come, Qiaoer, eat." Zhu Qiaoer took it and began to eat. Mulan's family's food was good. Although there wasn't much meat, the dishes she stir-fried had more oil than ordinary people. In addition, Mulan learned some cooking skills from Zhao Yuner, so the vegetables she stir-fried tasted very good. Chapter 1192. Zhu Qiaoer ate with relish. Firstly, she was really hungry. Secondly, in Zhu Qiaoer's opinion, Mulan's food was much better than hers. Children were very sensitive to food, and would eat a lot if it was delicious. Seeing that Zhu Qiaoer was eating too quickly, Zhu Daniu watched from the side. He was afraid that Zhu Qiaoer would choke, so he said to Zhu Qiaoer, "Qiaoer, eat slower. Don't be in such a hurry." Zhu Qiaoer looked up and glanced at Zhu Daniu. Then, she wiped the corner of her mouth and said to Zhu Daniu, "Dad, second aunt's food is really delicious. It's 100 times better than ours. Qiaoer likes it." Zhu Dainiu heard Zhu Qiaoer's words and felt a little stuffy. The corner of his mouth twitched and he asked, "Is that so?" Dad, second aunt's food is really much better than mom's. If only Qiaoer could eat second aunt's food every day, Zhu Qiaoer said with a face full of innocence. Zhu Dainiu felt uncomfortable when he heard that. Children wouldn't lie. That must be the truth. He smelled the aroma of his sister-in-law's food. It smelled much better than Madame Qi's food. The corner of his mouth twitched and he said to Zhu Qiaoer, "Then continue eating." Zhu Qiaoer nodded heavily and continued to bury her head and eat happily. Zhu Dainiu watched Zhu Qiaoer eat with such relish, and couldn't help but swallow a few mouthfuls of saliva. He also wanted to taste Mulan's food. Unfortunately, he was an adult, and was too embarrassed to ask Mulan for food. He could only watch from the side. Thinking about it, he felt a little stifled. Why was it that other women were all good, but he was the only one who married such a lousy wife? Otherwise, he would be able to eat delicious food like his second aunt. After a while, Zhu Qiaoer swallowed a big bowl of rice into her stomach. She looked like she hadn't had enough and said to Zhu Dainiu, "Mom, Qiaoer isn't full yet. I still want to eat." Zhu Dainiu frowned slightly, and seemed to be in a difficult position. "Didn't you eat a bowl? Why aren't you full?" "Father, Qiaoer is too hungry, so there isn't enough for dinner." Zhu Qiaoer lowered her head, feeling wronged. "You won't be hungry after eating a bowl, right? Your mother will be done in a while. Then you can eat your own food." Zhu Dainiu comforted him. "Father, Qiaoer doesn't want to eat her own food. I want to eat second aunt's food. Can Qiaoer eat some more?" Zhu Dainiu didn't want to trouble Mulan's family anymore. After all, he had eaten a bowl. It wouldn't be good if he ate more. Thus he said to Zhu Qiaoer, "Qiaoer, one bowl is enough. You can't go overboard and eat so much. Got it?" "Oh." Zhu Qiaoer pouted, feeling wronged. Seeing that Zhu Qiaoer was still staring at her family's dining table, Mulan couldn't bear to see her like this. She called out to Zhu Qiaoer, "It's okay. If Qiaoer wants to eat, second aunt will give you another bowl." "Second aunt, can I really?" Zhu Qiaoer blinked and looked at Mulan. "Of course, second aunt has a lot of food. It's enough for you to eat." Chapter 1193. Mulan pursed her lips and smiled at Zhu Dainiu. If the child wants to eat big brother, just let her eat. She won't be able to eat much. It's not easy for her to eat. It's just a bowl of rice. Don't be so calculative. "But, big brother, don't say but. Let Qiaoer eat another bowl." As she spoke, Mulan filled Zhu Qiaoer's bowl with rice and added more vegetables into it. Seeing Zhu Qiaoer eating so happily, she felt a little heartache. Thinking about his sister-in-law's children, they were too pitiful. They basically didn't eat well. His sister-in-law's family's food was really bad. There wasn't much oil in the vegetables. So how could the children grow up after eating it? All of the children were as thin as monkeys and didn't grow much taller. Then he looked at his children. Because the food conditions had improved during this period, they ate well. They had also grown taller and stronger. Their complexions had also become much rosier. Unfortunately, they had to live their own lives. After splitting from the family at most, he could let his nephews and nieces come over for a few meals. He couldn't let them eat every day. In the end, her big brother and sister-in-law's family had to improve their food conditions. At this moment, Zhu Sanlu and Mrs. Zhu came out of the room. Zhu Sanlu muttered, "Mother, why hasn't big sister-in-law finished cooking? I'm about to starve to death." Mrs. Zhu also frowned and muttered, "That's right. This eldest daughter-in-law is too lazy. Who knows what she's busy with all day? She hasn't even finished cooking. Who's going to starve to death?" After muttering, she said to Zhu Dainiu, "I say, Dainiu, if you have time, you should discipline your wife. What time is it now? Isn't this too outrageous?" Zhu Dainiu replied faintly, "Mother, I understand. It's good that you understand. Mom, I'm so hungry. I want to eat. I'm so hungry that my head is dizzy. I can't read." Zhu Sanlu pulled Mrs. Zhu's sleeve and said, "Old Madame Zhu replied, Isn't your eldest sister-in-law busy in the room? She'll eat in a while. Isn't Nyang also waiting with an empty stomach? Who asked your sister-in-law to be lazy?" Mrs. Zhu was full of disdain for Mrs. Qi. She deliberately raised her voice so that Mrs. Qi, who was in the kitchen, could hear her. Madam Qi did hear it, and the corners of her mouth twitched. Really? Her mother-in-law was too despicable. She was the one who was too lazy to cook. But now she was blaming her. He had never seen such a shameless old woman. Madam Qi couldn't wait to teach Mrs. Zhu a lesson. Unfortunately, her man was protecting Mrs. Zhu now, so she couldn't do it. Madam Qi thought that when she had money, bought new clothes, and dressed herself up, Zhu Daniu would change his mind about her. When he was on her side, she would deal with Mrs. Zhu, and Zhu Daniu wouldn't say anything about her. When that time came, she would teach Mrs. Zhu a lesson. Mother, eldest sister-in-law didn't cook. Isn't second sister-in-law's food edible? Look at how happy Qiao is eating. Mother, I want to eat at second sister-in-law's place too. Zhu Sanlu tugged at Mrs. Zhu's sleeve as he spoke. Then his eyes fell on Mulan's table. Chapter 1194. Mrs. Zhu said matter-of-factly, and then called out to Mulan, second daughter-in-law, "Did you hear that? There's still so much food left in your house. If your younger brother-in-law is hungry, hurry up and give him a bowl." Mulan's face darkened when she heard Mrs. Zhu's command. She gave it to Zhu Qiao because she was willing, but she would rather give it to a pig than give it to Zhu Sanlu. Thus she replied unhappily, "Mother, we've already separated from the family. What does it have to do with me whether my younger brother-in-law is hungry or not? I can give the food in my house to whoever I want to eat. Do I need you to command me?" Mulan's attitude made Mrs. Zhu very angry. Mrs. Zhu replied unhappily, "Second daughter-in-law, why are you like this? Didn't you say that there's a lot of food in your house? If you give it to Qiao, why don't you give it to my Lu? In any case, Lu is your younger brother-in-law. As his sister-in-law, how can you be so stingy with him? Qiao is just a girl. She's a good-for-nothing. You've already given it to her, so you must give it to your younger brother-in-law today." Mulan didn't know where Mrs. Zhu got this logic from. She sneered and confronted Mrs. Zhu. "Mother, your words are really interesting. If I don't give it to third brother today, what can you do? You, second daughter-in-law. Is this how you talk to your mother-in-law? You have no manners. Why did our old family Zhu marry a piece of trash like you?" Mulan's brows knitted together, and she looked very unhappy. Seeing that his wife was being bullied, Zhu Eru stood up and defended Mulan. "Mother, third brother is a grown man. Why is he competing with Qiao or a child? If you give it to Qiao, do you have to give it to third brother? You've gone too far by saying that about Mulan. Even if you're a mother-in-law or an elder, you have to be reasonable. You can't bully people for no reason, right?" Old Madame Zhu angrily pointed at Zhu Eru. "Good. This old woman really gave birth to an ungrateful wretch. She painstakingly gave birth to him for 10 months, and raised him up with a handful of tea and urine. Now that he's married, he forgets his mother, and actually treats me like this. I don't want to live anymore. What's the point of living like this?" Zhu Era's mouth twitched uncontrollably. His mother was really unreasonable. He kept saying these words all day long. If Mrs. Zhu had been a little more reasonable and treated Mulan and her children better, Zhu Era wouldn't have treated Mrs. Zhu like this. In the end, it was all this old woman's own doing. Zhu Daniu watched from the side. This matter started because of Zhu Qiao. His second brother and second sister-in-law had kindly scooped some food for Zhu Qiao to eat. He couldn't implicate his second sister-in-law. Thus he stood up and said to Zhu Taida, "Mother, I don't want to say this, but this matter is indeed your fault. Third brother is a grown man. If he's hungry, he should endure it. Aren't I also enduring it? Qiao is a child. Naturally, she can't be compared to us adults." When Zhu Daniu said this, Mrs. Zhu snorted softly. "You're great now. You're speaking up for your second brother and second sister-in-law." Zhu Daniu's mouth twitched. "Mother, I'm not. I'm just speaking the truth. Look at you. You don't even want to hear the truth. You only know how to protect third brother. If this goes on, third brother will definitely be spoiled by you." Chapter 1195. She thought for a moment, and put the blame on Madame Chi. Dainu, in the end, isn't it because of your wife? Lazy thing. You still haven't finished cooking. You're starving your third brother. Zhu Dainu could only agree. Yes. Mother, I'll talk to her later. Mulan couldn't be bothered with Madame Zhu, and called the family to continue eating. The fragrant smell made Zhu Sanlu salivate. Unfortunately, he could only watch from the side and couldn't eat it. After a while, Madame Chi finished cooking, and called the first branch's family to start eating. Madame Chi only made 3 dishes. A plate of stir-fried wild vegetables, a plate of small vegetables, and a plate of green beans. There wasn't much oil in the vegetables. After boiling them with plain water, she dripped 2 drops of sesame oil into them. It didn't look very appetizing. However, everyone was hungry now. Usually it was more or less the same, so they made do with it and started eating. Zhu Dainu picked up a green bean and put it in his mouth. After tasting it, he spat it out. Madame Chi looked at Zhu Dainu in confusion. Xiao'er's father, what's wrong with you? Why did you spit it out when you were eating? Zhu Dainu glared at Madame Chi. You still have the cheek to say that. Why don't you taste it yourself and see what it is? At this time, Madame Zhu also put a green bean into her mouth, and then quickly spat it out. Bah. It's so salty. I say, eldest daughter-in-law, how much salt did you put in? Do you want me to die of saltiness? Madame Chi pursed her lips and felt wronged. I don't know. I was a little anxious just now. I don't know how much salt I put in. Maybe I accidentally put it twice. Madame Chi was nervous and faintly worried that Zhu Dainu would scold her again. Sure enough, Zhu Dainu angrily scolded. What's the use of marrying a woman like you? You didn't cook when we came back. And now that you've cooked, it's so disgusting. How can I eat it? Mrs. Zhu agreed from the side. Isn't that so? Our eldest daughter-in-law is really capable. Even pigs wouldn't want to eat the food that she makes. You put so much salt in the dishes. You're really rich. You're not afraid of wasting it. Madame Chi felt very wronged. I was just being careless. I'll just make do with it. It should be fine, right? This dish is salty, but there are still 2 other dishes. Why don't you try it again? Zhu Dainu's face was still calm. He snorted and tasted the remaining 2 dishes. These 2 dishes were not salty, but they were bland and tasteless. It was impossible to swallow them. Clang! Zhu Dainu slammed his chopsticks on the table. How am I supposed to eat this? It tastes awful. I say, my eldest daughter-in-law, you've been married for so many years. Why is your cooking still so bad? There was no improvement at all. It's useless. Dinyo. Mother. My cooking skills have always been like this. No one taught me. Old Madame Zhu angrily said. You still need someone to teach you this? Are you a pig's brain? You've already figured it out by yourself. Tonight's 3 dishes have been wasted by you for nothing. No matter how rich my family Zhu is, I can't afford to be tormented by you. Chapter 1196. The corner of Mrs. Zhu's mouth twitched. She did not expect Madame Chi to retort. You want me to do it? Then why did our family Zhu marry you? You don't even do housework. Do you want us to serve you like an ancestor? Why don't you take a look at yourself? If you can earn money for our family Zhu, then forget it. You have to rely on our family Zhu to support you. You have to be more diligent. Mrs. Zhu lectured Madame Chi angrily. Zhu Dainu said from the side. Mother is right. You're a woman. Didn't we marry you to let you do housework? Which woman doesn't cook at home? Look at second sister-in-law. She's busy earning money in Yang City all day long. When she comes back, she'll prepare the food well. She's busier than you every day, right? When Zhu Dainu said this, Madame Chi responded with an aggrieved voice. What could she say when he compared her to Mulan? Who asked Mulan to be so silly? She was so diligent every day even after earning money. She was not like Mulan. Madame Chi's eyes turned. After thinking for a while, she said to Zhu Dainu. Dainu, if I can earn a lot of money like second sister-in-law, then can you let me do less housework? Can you let mother do the cooking, washing dishes and washing clothes? Madame Chi was thinking about the barren mountain that she bought. Later, Zhao Yin'er would definitely buy it from her at a high price. Then she would be able to earn a lot of money. Zhu Dania glanced at Madame Qi. Thinking that Madame Qi was dreaming, he said softly, "If you can earn money like second sister-in-law, then won't we treat you like an ancestor at home? Why would we let you do any work?" Madame Qi blinked and looked at Zhu Daniu expectantly. "Daniu, is what you said true? If I can earn money, then I really don't have to do any work at home?" Without waiting for Zhu Daniu to answer, old Madame Zhu echoed from the side, "I say, eldest daughter-in-law, don't talk nonsense. If you come back with 3 to 5 taels of silver, this old woman will work like a horse for you. You don't have to do anything." Mrs. Zhu said this because she was sure that Madame Qi could not earn that money. Hearing Mrs. Zhu's words, Zhu Daniu nodded in agreement. "Yes, but I don't think about it. You have to earn money first before you can talk about this. It's useless to say it now." Madame Qi's expression. "That's good." She was just waiting to make money from Zhao Yin'er. Old Madame Zhu and the others had better remember what they said. Just then, Zhao Yin'er came to the door and looked like she was coming in a menacing manner. Mulan thought that Zhao Yin'er was looking for her, so she stepped forward and asked Zhao Yin'er, "Yin'er, why are you looking for me now?" Zhao Yin'er shook her head at Mulan. "Sister-in-law Mulan, I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for your eldest sister-in-law." Mulan looked at Zhao Yin'er in confusion. "Yin'er, why are you looking for my eldest sister-in-law?" Zhao Yin'er curled her lips and her eyes were cold. "Of course I have something to do with him." Madame Qi saw Zhao Yin'er coming over. Not only was she not afraid, but she was also a little proud. The more excited Zhao Yin'er was, the more important this barren mountain was to her. Then she could ask for a higher price and earn more money. By then, wouldn't Zhu Daniu treat her well? Chapter 1197. Zhao Yin'er sneered. "I'm here to deal with that B***tch. Madame Qi naturally knew that the B***tch Zhao Yin'er was referring to was her. She huffed angrily at Zhao Yin'er. "Zhao Yin'er, watch your mouth. Who are you calling a B***tch? Of course I'm talking about you." Zhao Yin'er sneered and took a few steps forward. When she was in front of Qi Shi, she kicked Qi Shi's stomach a few times. Madame Qi was kicked to the ground all of a sudden and cried out in pain. "Ouch, murder! Help!" Madame Qi lay on the ground and yelled, as if she was afraid that no one would know. The more onlookers there were, the better. They would know that Zhao Yin'er was unreasonable and a bully. Zhu Daniu immediately frowned. Although he didn't treat Madame Qi well, he still had to look at the owner before beating a dog. Zhao Yin'er hitting Madame Qi like this was a slap to his face. She didn't take him seriously at all. Zhu Daniu pulled Madame Qi up from the ground and asked Zhao Yin'er, "Why did you hit her? Can't you make things clear? We're from the same village. How can you hit her just like that?" Zhao Yin'er snorted and said, "Why do I need to reason with a B***tch? I'm in a bad mood. I just want to hit her." Zhu Daniu's mouth twitched. He felt that things weren't that simple. He knew that Zhao Yin'er wasn't an unreasonable person. His wife must have done something outside to offend Zhao Yin'er, so Zhao Yin'er came to hit her. Thus he frowned and asked Madame Qi, "Tell me honestly, did you do something wrong to her and offend her?" Madame Qi pursed her lips in grievance. "Daniu, I didn't. I'm your wife. No matter what, you have to protect me. You can't protect an outsider." Zhu Daniu was silent for a moment. What Madame Qi said was right. If his wife was bullied too badly and he, as a husband, stood by and watched, he would be laughed at. So he said to Zhao Yin'er, "Zhao Yin'er, you can't be unreasonable. Otherwise, we'll go back and argue with Li Zheng." Zhao Yin'er was angry. What was she afraid of? "Let's argue with Li Zheng. But before that, I have to teach her a lesson." With that, Zhao Yin'er grabbed Madame Qi and kicked her to the ground. She pulled her hair and slapped Madame Qi's face a few times. Ah! Both sides of Madame Qi's face were bleeding and swollen. She screamed miserably, as if she was a pig being slaughtered. The Zhu family was dumbfounded by what they saw. They had seen men break ribs when they fought. Now that they saw Zhao Yin'er teach Madame Qi a lesson, the others were simply too weak. Zhao Yin'er was ruthless. Not to mention hitting Madame Qi's body. Even the onlookers felt the pain when they saw it. Mulan was frightened. She wondered why Zhao Yin'er was so ruthless. His sister-in-law didn't seem to have done anything. How did she make Zhao Yin'er so angry? Of course, Mulan knew that Madame Qi must have done something to cross Zhao Yin'er's bottom line. That was why Zhao Yin'er was angry. She didn't go forward to stop her. She didn't understand the situation. Based on her understanding of Zhao Yin'er, she was on Zhao Yin'er's side. Chapter 1198. It was not because he felt sorry for Madame Qi, but because he felt very embarrassed. However, he could not protect his own woman, and he had no way to protect her. Who asked Zhao Yin'er to be so awesome? According to Zhao Yin'er's attitude, even if she argued with Li Zheng, she was not afraid. It meant that she did not take Li Zheng seriously. Zhao Yin'er was so arrogant because she had the right to be arrogant. After all, Zhao Yin'er was backed by the heir of the crown prince. Who dared to provoke the heir of the crown prince? Even Li Zheng did not dare to make a fart in front of the heir of the crown prince, let alone make decisions for them. At this moment, Zhu Dainyu could only watch the knight being beaten up by Zhao Yin'er, but he could not intervene. It was not worthwhile to offend Zhao Yin'er for a lazy woman. Mrs. Zhu and Zhu Sanlu stood aside, and did not intend to help at all. Instead, they were gloating. Mrs. Zhu felt that Madame Qi needed to be taught a lesson. Coincidentally, Zhao Yin'er came over to teach her a lesson, so that Madame Qi would know how to restrain herself. Madame Qi screamed miserably, but she could not resist. She could only bear it passively. In the end, Madame Qi lost a tooth because of Zhao Yin'er, and blood came out of her mouth. Help Qiao'er's father, come and help me. I'm going to be beaten to death. Madame Qi asked Zhu Dainyu, who was standing aside, for help with a lisp. Zhu Dainyu saw this situation. If he did not intervene, Madame Qi would really be beaten to death. After sighing in his heart, he stood in front of Madame Qi and stopped Zhao Yin'er. Zhao Yin'er, you have beaten this person. Are you done now? Zhu Dainyu asked in a friendly way. Zhao Yin'er glanced at Madame Qi on the ground. Seeing her bruised nose and swollen face, she felt much better. I'm done. However, she'd better be tactful. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that I'll continue to do it myself. Zhu Dainyu's brows twisted together. He looked at Zhao Yin'er and then looked at Madame Qi on the ground. Therefore, he pulled Madame Qi to her feet and questioned her coldly. You bitch, you're still not telling me the truth. Hurry up and tell me clearly, otherwise see how I'll deal with you. Madame Qi looked at Zhu Dainyu with an aggrieved expression. Dainyu, it's really nothing. As Madame Qi spoke, she had lost a tooth, so her words were unclear. Some blood even flowed out of her mouth, which looked very disgusting. If there's nothing, why would I do anything to you? Why didn't he find trouble with anyone else but you? Madame Qi curled her lips and pulled Zhu Dainyu. She whispered to Zhu Dainyu, Dainyu, I'll talk to you over there. Listen to my explanation. Seeing Madame Qi's attitude, Zhu Dainyu guessed that something big must have happened, so he nodded. Okay, hurry up and say it. Madame Qi didn't want to say it at first. She planned to tell Zhu Dainyu after she made some money. Now she had to make it clear. The two of them went to the side, and Madame Qi explained the whole thing clearly. When Zhu Dainyu heard this, his brows knitted tightly together. This woman was so careless that she dared to secretly take out 5 taels of silver to buy the wasteland behind his back. Wasn't she looking down on him? Putting aside whether Madame Qi could make money by doing this, her behavior was wrong in Zhu Dainyu's eyes. Chapter 1199. 5 taels of silver was not a small amount. If it was gone, their family Zhu's savings would be gone. How would they live in the future? Zhu Dainyu was slightly shocked when he thought about it. Thus his displeased gaze landed on Madame Qi, and he said to her, You woman, you've got quite the guts. 5 taels of silver. 5 taels of silver to buy a barren mountain. Why didn't you discuss it with me? Did you decide on your own? Why didn't you clean up the water? The more Zhu Dainyu thought about it, the angrier he became. It would be fine if they bought ordinary land. This way they could easily sell it. Even if they couldn't sell it, they could at least grow it and make some food. It wouldn't be a loss. How could he sell such a desolate mountain? It was obviously waiting to be wasted in the future. Their family couldn't possibly go up there to grow food, right? Madame Chi saw Zhu Dania's angry look and pursed her lips. Daniu, isn't it because I discussed it with you? You definitely won't let me buy it, right? Don't be angry. Don't worry. Zhao Yun that little b asterisk tch, must be thinking that we can raise the price of this barren mountain. This way, she can spend more money, and we can make a lot of money. Zhu Daniu heard Madame Chi's words and looked thoughtful. He seemed to still be worried and didn't quite believe her. Madame Chi became anxious and continued. Daniu, I'm right. Look at that little b asterisk th Xiao Yin'er. She's so anxious now. It must be because she wants that barren mountain. This way we can raise the price. Zhu Dania thought about it again. Zhao Yin'er's reaction was indeed like that. Since she came to find trouble with Madame Chi so agitatedly, it meant that Zhao Yin'er thought that this barren mountain was indeed important. In that case, Madame Chi was right. They could indeed make Zhao Yin'er spend more money to buy this barren mountain. Seeing that Zhu Dania's expression was much better, Madame Chi heaved a heavy sigh of relief in her heart. She was afraid that Zhu Daniu would be angry and do something to her when the time came. Daniu, trust me, I will definitely make money. I'm telling you this because I'm thinking about our future. Otherwise, if I don't tell you anything, I won't dare to make decisions without your permission. Madame Chi looked at Zhu Daniu fawningly. Knowing that Zhu Daniu was like this, she had to coax him well. Zhu Daniu rolled his eyes at Madame Chi and snorted. Don't be complacent too early. If Zhao Yin'er doesn't send the money over, you'll be in trouble. Madame Chi smiled embarrassedly. Daniu, don't worry. She will definitely give us a lot of money. She needs that mountain. All right, then let's discuss with Zhao Yin'er and see how much she's willing to pay us. Zhu Daniu commanded. Okay, Daniu. Madame Chi answered eagerly. The two of them returned to Zhao Yin'er. At this time, Zhu Daniu stood in front of Madame Chi to protect her. Zhu Daniu stood in front of Madame Chi and said to Zhao Yin'er, Zhao Yin'er, I know you came to find trouble with my wife because of the barren mountain. But since we bought it, it's ours. What do you want? Could it be that you want to snatch it from our hands? Zhao Yin'er glanced at Zhu Daniu with a sneer. Sure enough, in front of benefits, they were all the same. Zhao Yin'er smiled. Snatch? When did I want to snatch it? I'm just asking you to be sensible. Otherwise, you'll regret it. Chapter 1200. Is that so? Zhao Yin'er's lips curled into a smile. That's right, Zhao Yin'er. I know that you need this barren mountain. If you're willing to pay 20 taels of silver, then we can transfer the mountain to you. When Zhao Yin'er heard this, she only felt that it was funny. Sure enough, they really wanted to extort her. 20 taels of silver, 15 taels of silver directly. Unless she was stupid, she wouldn't let others earn an extra 15 taels of silver for nothing. Seeing Zhu Daniu and Madame Chi's complacent and domineering look, Zhao Yin'er curled her lips and said to Zhu Daniu and Madame Chi, Since that's the case, then you can keep the barren mountain. 20 taels of silver. It's more like stealing or robbing. Zhao Yin'er, what do you mean? Since you want the barren mountain, you're still not willing to pay 20 taels of silver? Zhu Daniu was a little anxious. He was afraid that Zhao Yin'er really didn't want the barren mountain. Otherwise, why would he spend 5 taels of silver to buy it? At this time, Zhu Daniu wasn't sure if Zhao Yin'er deliberately said this to scare him, so that it would be easier to bargain. Zhao Yin'er sneered and replied, Do you think that I'm stupid? Or do you think that people are stupid? 20 taels of silver to buy a barren mountain? Do I have nothing better to do? Besides, you spent 5 taels of silver to buy it back, and I gave you an extra 15 taels of silver for nothing? Do you really think that my family's money can't be spent? Zhao Yin'er, don't you want this barren mountain? Didn't you come to find trouble with me because you care a lot? Since that's the case, then you have to spend more money. Madame Chi was also anxious and spoke incoherently. After speaking, Madame Chi was afraid that Zhao Yin'er would make a move on her again, so she quickly hid behind Zhu Daju. Zhao Yin'er really couldn't take it anymore. How could there be such a shameless person? He sneered and said, You're thinking too much. I didn't come here because of the barren mountain. If you want to keep it, I'll go buy something else. I'm here to teach you a lesson, because I don't like you. I'm telling you to be sensible, so that you won't play any tricks in front of me in the future. If I find out that you're like this again, I'll continue to teach you a lesson. After Zhao Yuner finished speaking, she turned around and prepared to leave. Hearing Zhao Yuner's words, Madame Qi's heart thumped. It's over, it's over. Zhao Yuner really doesn't want this barren mountain anymore? Then what about the 5 taels they spent? Wouldn't that be a waste of time? That won't do. 5 taels of silver was not a small amount. The family Zhu did not have much money left. He couldn't possibly guard a barren mountain, right? Seeing that Zhao Yuner was really going to leave, Zhu Dainiu and Madame Qi hurriedly called out to Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner, you really don't want to buy it. Zhao Yuner, what do you mean by this? Zhao Yuner stopped in her tracks, and a sarcastic smile hung on her lips. What's wrong? Can I not buy it? Are you planning to force me to buy it? Zhu Dainiu's face was a little stiff. After tugging, he said to Zhao Yuner, Zhao Yuner, since you want to buy it, you can't buy it at a cheap price. How about this? I don't need 20 taels. I'll sell it to you for 15 taels of silver. And no, 10 taels should be enough, right? I'll give you a discount of half at once. Zhao Yuner still shook her head. Not to mention 10 taels of silver. Even if you sell it to me at the original price, I won't do it. Anyway, our village is near the foot of the mountain. Aren't we afraid that we can't find a piece of land? Do I need to buy it from you? Chapter 1201. Zhao Yuner naturally had her own plans. Wanting to swindle money out of her hands was simply a dream. She would not go along with Zhu Dainiu and Madame Qi's wishes. Did they really think that she had to have it? Haha. Now she wanted to see how they were going to sell this barren mountain to her, if she was unwilling to buy it. If the villagers in the barren mountain wanted it, they would have bought it long ago. They would not have waited until now. Still, no one wanted to buy it, because this barren mountain could not grow much food. Even if they bought it, it would be useless. It was not until Zhao Yuner's figure disappeared that the people in the family Zhu's courtyard came back to their senses. Zhu Dainiu blinked. He thought that Zhao Yuner would buy it after he offered such a huge price reduction. In the end, Zhao Yuner rejected it without even thinking. Great. Now that Zhao Yuner did not want it, what else could they do? Did they spend 5 taels of silver to buy a useless thing? Were they going to put it in the village as a decoration? Stupid. They were simply stupid. Zhu Dainiu's brows frowned deeply. He didn't want to earn money from Zhao Yuner's hands, but instead he lost his own money. Thus, his cold gaze fell on Madame Qi. Madame Qi was stunned for a moment, because she was too surprised. It was completely different from what she had expected. Zhao Yuner actually did not want to buy it. Then what should she do? When she met Zhu Dainiu's eyes, it was as if he wanted to eat her up. Madame Qi naturally knew why. She smiled and looked at Zhu Dainiu nervously. Dainiu, this. I don't want to. Who knows what Zhao Yuner is up to? I think Zhao Yuner is loosening the reins only to grasp them better. She wants us to lower the price to her. Maybe she will wait for a few days. If we don't lower the price, she will naturally come and buy it. After all, there's only this barren mountain in our village. Where else could she go to buy it? Zhu Dainiu felt that Madame Qi was trying to defend herself, even though what she said made sense. At present, he had no way to determine whether Zhao Yuner really did not want it, or if she was deliberately saying this. If Zhao Yuner deliberately said this, and he lowered the price too much, then he would be at a loss. At this time, it all depended on who was more patient. After thinking for a while, Zhu Dainiu said to Madame Qi, Well, I'll give you another chance. If Zhao Yuner doesn't come to buy it in a few days, it means that she really doesn't want it. You'll be in trouble then. After Zhu Dainiu finished speaking, he flung his sleeves and left. Madame Qi wiped the cold sweat off her forehead. She was a little frightened. She started to worry now. If Zhao Yuner really didn't buy it, then what should she do? The more she thought about it, the more frustrated she felt. I shouldn't be that miserable, right? After Zhao Yuner went back, she thought about where else she could get a piece of land besides this barren mountain. If it was possible, she would get a piece of land at the foot of the mountain, and save herself the trouble. The land at the foot of the mountain had no owner. So whoever mined it would own it. Of course, this kind of land could only be used to grow tea leaves. It was probably impossible to use it to grow food. Therefore, when the time came, she would need to spend some effort to hire some people. The only thing she was afraid of was that after it was mined, other people would be jealous of it, and there would be disputes. Chapter 1202. When Zhao Yin-er returned home, Mu Lianfeng was in the house. When he saw Zhao Yin-er panting with anger, he asked with concern. Zhao Yin-er told Mu Lianfeng about what had happened. When Mu Lianfeng heard this, the corners of his mouth curled up. He smiled at Zhao Yin-er and said, "Yin-er, come here." Zhao Yin-er moved closer to Mu Lianfeng and looked at Mu Lianfeng in confusion. "What? Yin-er, give me your hand." Zhao Yin-er was even more confused. She didn't know what Mu Lianfeng was trying to do. However, she still cooperated and took her hand over to Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng held Zhao Yin-er's hand and looked at it. Then he asked with concern, "How is it, Yin? Does your hand hurt?" Zhao Yin-er's mouth twitched. This guy, could it be that he still cares about this? Zhao Yin-er shook her head. "It's all right. It's not me who's in pain. It's someone else." Mu Lianfeng's eyes were still filled with heartache as he muttered to Zhao Yin-er. "Yin-er, next time, leave the matter of dealing with people to me. You don't have to do it yourself." Zhao Yin-er was amused by Mu Lianfeng. This guy really knew how to put on an act. He was pretending as if he really cared about her. "Okay, next time, I'll leave the matter of dealing with people to you." Zhao Yin-er agreed readily. Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yin-er sat down opposite each other and said to Zhao Yin-er, "Yin-er, I'm going back to Yang City tomorrow." Zhao Yin-er nodded. Okay. Zhao Yin-er didn't want to ask why Mu Lianfeng went back. After all, Mu Lianfeng had a lot of things to do. He was busy with the imperial court and family matters. "Yes. Take good care of yourself in Daodu. I'll be back in a day," Zhao Yin-er responded. One day's time was considered very short. Mu Lianfeng went back, and could come back very quickly. If he left for too long, she might miss him. "Oh right, give me a bucket of your tea leaves first. I'll bring it to Helianshan, and let him have a taste of the tea. Let him tell me if he wants to buy it." Zhao Yin-er readily agreed, and packed all the tea leaves at home for Mu Lianfeng. If this fellow could send more people away, he would let him do so. After all, the people Mu Lianfeng came into contact with were all rich people. If these rich people liked it, they would naturally be eager to order from her. After a good night's sleep, the next morning, Mu Lianfeng set off and returned to the heir residence. Zhao Yin-er had nothing to do for the past 2 days. She continued to busy herself with the tea leaves, and picked some new tea leaves from the mountains. If there were many people ordering, she would have to sell them in large quantities. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to earn much money. On the other side, in the family Qin village, Zhao Ping-er continued to be tormented by Qin Chuan that night. Qin Chuan seemed to have fallen in love with Zhao Ping-er. It didn't take much effort for him to torment her for an entire night. Zhao Ping-er felt comfortable, so she didn't reject him. However, the consequence of tormenting her for an entire night was that she couldn't get up the next morning. Zhao Ping-er wanted to slack off and sleep, but Mu Chunfang wasn't so easy to deal with. Early in the morning, he shouted at the top of his lungs in the courtyard. "Ping-er, hurry up and come out. Ping-er, why aren't you getting up? How can a wife be so lazy? What time is it? Why aren't you getting up to help me? Do you want to wait until the sun is high up in the sky?" Chapter 1203. Ping-er girl, how dare you not listen to me? I'm going to come in and give you a good thrashing, so that you'll be obedient. Zhao Ping-er was already very sleepy and was sleeping like a dead pig. When she heard Mu Chuanfang's voice outside the room, she felt so annoyed. She had been tormented the whole night, and did not sleep well. What was wrong with sleeping a little more in the morning? If she were to wake up now, she would probably doze off, and not be able to wake up for the rest of the day. Hence, no matter how much Mu Chunfang shouted outside, Zhao Ping-er ignored him. She continued to cover her head with the blanket, and slept soundly. After being tormented, she could suddenly sleep. She felt that she was sleeping soundly and comfortably. Zhao Ping, who was cooped up in the blanket, even started to snore loudly and saliva started to drip from the corner of her mouth. Mu Chunfang saw that Zhao Ping did not move even after he shouted for a long time. His eyebrows knitted together uncontrollably. Could it be that this Zhao Pinger was deaf? After shouting for so long, she still did not manage to call out to anyone. It was really infuriating. Hence, Mu Chunfang put down the things in his hands and kicked open the door to Zhao Pinger's room. He then entered the room. After entering, he realized that the snoring was as loud as thunder. Zhao Ping was hugging the blanket and sleeping soundly. Mu Chunfang was instantly angry. This wretched girl was really a pig. He had shouted for so long, but she did not respond and continued to sleep in the room. Wasn't this too much? Mu Chunfang rushed to Zhao Ping's bedside and lifted Zhao Ping's blanket. After this, Zhao Ping was woken up by Mu Chunfang. Zhao Pinger looked pleadingly at Mu Chunfang and said to Mu Chunfang, "Mother, what are you doing? Just let me sleep for a while." Mu Chunfang snorted softly and said, "Sleep, sleep, sleep. You only know how to sleep. It's already so late, and you still don't want to get up. You don't know how to help out at home. Do you really think you're a rich missy who needs to be waited on?" Zhao Ping rubbed her eyes. As she did not sleep well, she was still very sleepy when she opened her eyes. She yawned a few times and said to Mu Chunfang, "Mother, why are you like this? You just sleep really. I'm too tired. Let me sleep for a while." As she spoke, Zhao Pinger continued to tug at the blanket. She wanted to cover herself with it and sleep. Mu Chunfang was not willing to let her go. She pointed at Zhao Pinger and continued to scold her. "Sleep, sleep, sleep like a pig. If he didn't get up, didn't that mean he didn't want to work? You lazy woman, see how I'll deal with you." As she spoke, Mu Chunfang picked up the laundry hammer in the corner and hit Zhao Pinger's body. Zhao Ping was hit so hard that her body hurt. She immediately woke up and sat up from the bed. She shouted, "Mother, what are you doing? Why are you hitting me?" Mu Chunfang snorted coldly and scolded, "Why are you hitting me? See if I don't hit you to death, you lazy woman. Who told you to be lazy? Try to be lazy again." Zhao Ping was a little helpless. She could only get up and say to Mu Chunfang, "Mother, stop hitting me. I'll get up. I'll get up." Hurry up and get to work." Mu Chunfang shouted from the innermost part of the room. "Got it, mother," Zhao Ping replied weakly. Chapter 1204. Due to a lack of sleep, her head felt heavy and dizzy at this moment. It was very uncomfortable. When she walked to the courtyard, she couldn't help but yawn. Mu Chunfang glanced at Zhao Ping's appearance and was still very angry. Look at other people's wives. She didn't even need her mother-in-law to remind her to wake up early in the morning, wash clothes, cook and feed the chickens and ducks. Look at his own wife. She slept until God knows what time she would wake up. She even needed her mother-in-law to wake her up. She couldn't do much household chores at all. Why was it that they were both wives, but the difference was so big? Zhao Ping rubbed her eyes and walked to Mu Chunfang. She asked Mu Chunfang, "Mother, what should I do?" Zhao Ping also didn't know what she should do, so she ran to Mu Chunfang to ask. Mu Chunfang's brows furrowed. He really didn't know what to say to Zhao Ping this idiot. She even needed others to guide her. If he didn't guide her, wouldn't she know how to do it? He pointed at Zhao Ping with some displeasure. "Can't you use a broom to sweep the chicken and duck feces on the ground? The entire courtyard is so dirty and smelly. I'm old. My waist hurts badly when I bend down to sweep the floor. You're a young person. If you don't help to sweep, are you going to rely on an old woman like me?" Zhao Ping glanced at the ground. It was really dirty. The family Qin reared 10 to 20 chickens and ducks. These chickens and ducks were in a free-range state, so the courtyard would be very dirty every day, because there was chicken and duck feces everywhere. If they weren't cleaned up in time, the smell would be especially unpleasant. However, cleaning up the chicken and duck feces was really very disgusting. Just looking at it made one want to vomit. Early in the morning, one's appetite was completely ruined by it. Since Mu Chunfang had spoken, Zhao Ping did not dare to disobey. She could only nod and reply, "Mother, I understand. I'll get it done right away." Zhao Ping picked up a dustpan and a broom and began to clean up the chicken and duck feces in the yard. He cleaned it again and again, pinched his nose again and again. It was so smelly. After cleaning up, Zhao Ping looked at the half dustpan full of feces and was about to throw it far away. However, she was stopped by Mu Chunfang. "Ping girl, where are you going?" When Zhao Ping saw Mu Chunfang's expression, she seemed a little unhappy, so she replied weakly, "Mother, I'm just going to dump chicken poop. Doesn't it stink?" "I say, little girl, are you stupid? You didn't dump the things that should be dumped, but you went to dump the things that shouldn't be dumped." Zhao Yin'er frowned and looked at Mu Chunfang uncomprehendingly. She asked, "Mother, what's the use of keeping this chicken poop?" "Why is it useless? It's very useful." "What? You wretched girl. You don't have any knowledge at all. Quickly put it away for me. You can use it as fertilizer in the vegetable garden. Aren't the vegetables at home all watered with feces? Otherwise, do you think they can grow so big and so well?" Zhao Ping replied weakly, "Oh, I see. Mother, then I'll keep it." Mu Chunfang's expression eased a little, and he replied indifferently. Zhao Ping followed Mu Chunfang's instructions and poured the contents of the dustpan into a small vat in the vegetable garden. The vat already contained the chicken and duck feces that Mu Chunfang had previously stored. Chapter 1205. Even though it was a good fertilizer, it still made people want to vomit. Zhao Ping hurriedly took the broom and dustpan and rushed back to the courtyard. Just as she was about to get some water to wash her hands, she realized that the chickens and ducks in the courtyard had come out. They were pooping all over the ground in the courtyard. Zhao Ping's anger instantly flared up. These damn chickens and ducks. They were really pooping all over the courtyard again. Once the courtyard was dirty, Mu Chunfang would let her clean it up properly. She didn't want to do such a disgusting thing. Hence, Zhao Ping ran towards the flock of chickens and ducks and kicked them all over the place. As she kicked, she shouted, "Hurry up and leave, hurry up and leave. What are you waiting for? There's a place you can go, but you just have to run into the courtyard." After being chased away by Zhao Ping, the chickens and ducks were instantly scared out of their wits and didn't dare to stay in the courtyard any longer. However, because of Zhao Ping's actions, the chickens and ducks were also scared out of their wits and cried out loudly. At this time, Mu Chunfang was cooking in the house. When he heard the commotion outside, he quickly stuck his head out to take a look. It was fine if he didn't take a look, but once he did, he was almost angered to death by Zhao Ping. When Mu Chunfang saw that Zhao Ping actually chased away the chickens and ducks in the courtyard and scared them out of their wits, he didn't know if the chickens and ducks would dare to come back. So he scolded Zhao Ping, "I say, little girl Ping, what are you doing?" "Mother, I'm chasing away the chickens and ducks in the courtyard." Zhao Ping didn't think much of it, so she replied nonchalantly. Mu Chunfang's face was cold, and he questioned Zhao Ping again. "Chasing away the chickens and ducks? Why are you chasing away the chickens and ducks for no reason? Did I get in your way by staying in the courtyard?" Zhao Ping pursed her lips and said, "Mother, these chickens and ducks are very annoying. You also saw it. They are pooping everywhere in the courtyard. Not to mention the stench, I have to clean it up later. It was too disgusting. If they didn't stay in the yard, they wouldn't be able to take a dump. I won't have to go through the trouble of sweeping the courtyard." Hearing Zhao Ping's words, Mu Chunfang's face continued to darken. This Zhao Ping, I don't know what to say about her. Laziness is laziness. You sure know how to find so many excuses. You chased the chickens away and didn't dare to return to the courtyard. I think the hens are going to lay eggs soon. So how would you dare to return to the courtyard? How can you lay eggs in the chicken coop? Mu Chunfang scolded angrily. The hens raised in the countryside would always return to the chicken coop when they laid eggs. Unless they couldn't return to the chicken coop, then they would lay eggs outside. With Zhao Ping's actions, The chickens would be too afraid to go back and lay eggs on the grass. They would definitely not be able to find the eggs when they returned. In the olden days, the villagers were poor. Eggs were a good thing, and their families couldn't bear to eat them. How could they let her waste them? This Zhao Ping was simply too stupid. When Zhao Ping heard Mu Chuanfang's words, she couldn't help but frown. She seemed to have realized her mistake and looked at Mu Chunfang guiltily. She was very worried and knew that Mu Chunfang would probably scold her again. Mother, I didn't know. If I knew, I definitely wouldn't have chased them away. Zhao Ping weakly defended herself. Chapter 1206. Mother, can you not talk about me like that? Zhao Ping said, feeling wronged. It wasn't as if she didn't want to do the chores at home. But after she did it, she accidentally did something wrong, and she was scolded like that. If she knew that she shouldn't have done the chores, she would be scolded anyway. Oh, you can't even talk about it? Do you think you're the daughter of a wealthy family? Which mother-in-law doesn't miss their daughter-in-law? As Mu Chunfang spoke, she walked in front of Zhao Ping and poked Zhao Ping's forehead with her finger. Zhao Ping felt a wave of pain. She gritted her teeth and cursed Mu Chunfang in her heart. But on the surface she still agreed. What else could she do? Mu Chunfang was her mother-in-law after all. Mother, what do we do now? Will our chickens come back to lay eggs? Zhao Ping asked. Mu Chunfang glared at Zhao Ping. You still have the cheek to ask. Hurry up and get a small bowl of rice, and call the chickens and ducks back to eat. Zhao Ping replied weakly. Oh, mother, I got it. After Zhao Ping finished speaking, she followed Mu Chuanfang's instructions and got a bowl of rice. She called out to the chickens and ducks, imitating how Liang Jinxiao usually called out to the chickens. When Zhao Ping called out to them, the chickens and ducks outside ran over eagerly and started to eat chicken feed. Zhao Ping saw that the chickens and ducks had returned and heaved a sigh of relief. But she was still worried. These chickens and ducks were so good at pooping that they would definitely get dirty again. After Mu Chunfang took a look and confirmed that the chickens and ducks were fine, she returned to the kitchen and continued to work. Ping, after you're done with the chickens, hurry up and come to the kitchen to work with me. Zhao Ping nodded and replied, Mother, I know. Just as Zhao Ping was about to enter the kitchen, she saw a beautiful figure walking towards their house. Zhao Ping felt that this figure was somewhat familiar. She took a closer look and saw clearly. Weren't these people Zhao Xinhui? Zhao Ping furrowed her brows. Her aunt was here. Why did he come to her house? In any case, it was definitely nothing good. Thinking of Qin Yuan's affection for Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping felt jealous. No way. Anyway, she couldn't let her aunt seduce Qin Yuan again. Thus, before Zhao Xinhui reached the family Qin's courtyard, Zhao Ping rushed over angrily. She rushed in front of Zhao Xinhui and asked Zhao Xinhui, Aunt, why did you come over for no reason? Did you come to my house to seduce my big brother Yuan? Hurry up and leave, hurry up and leave. Zhao Xinhui looked at Zhao Ping, as if she was looking at an idiot. After frowning in disgust, she said to Zhao Ping, Why? Could it be that I can't come? It's none of your business. I'm not here to look for you. Zhao Xinhui was a little arrogant in front of Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping was even angrier. You. Zhao Ping pointed at Zhao Xinhui. What are you talking about? Ping lass, I'm your aunt and your elder. What are you trying to do by pointing at me like this? You really don't know any rules. Zhao Xinhui snorted softly and continued walking towards the family Qin's courtyard. Zhao Ping was not willing to let Zhao Xinhui go. If Qin Yuan saw this, they might even get involved with Zhao Xinhui again. Chapter 1207. Not allowed to go. Why can't I go? It's not your home. Seriously. Zhao Xinhui snorted and nudged Zhao Ping. I married over, so this is my home. If I don't allow you to go, then you can't go. Zhao Ping said righteously. As she spoke, she stood in front of Zhao Xinhui and blocked Zhao Xinhui, not allowing Zhao Xinhui to leave. Are you crazy? Who do you think you are? Zhao Xinhui frowned and said to Zhao Ping, Auntie, who are you scolding? You're saying that I'm crazy, but I'm saying that you're shameless. You're just a shameless girl who came to my in-laws' house. Don't think that I don't know what you're thinking. You only know how to seduce my big brother Yuan. Zhao Xinhui sneered and stared at Zhao Ping. Zhao Ping, if you treasure Qin Yuan, then so be it. Don't think that everyone is like you. If I want to be with Qin Yuan, do I need to seduce him? Won't he just throw himself at me? What Zhao Xinhui said was the truth, and Zhao Ping naturally understood it very well in her heart. However, she could not accept such a fact. When she thought of how reluctant Qin Yuan was to leave Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping felt a wave of jealousy in her heart. When she met Zhao Xinhui's slightly smug eyes, Zhao Ping angrily waved her claws and swung them at Zhao Xinhui's face. It was because of Zhao Xinhui's face that Qin Yuan would miss her. If he did not have this face, Qin Yuan naturally would not think about it. When Zhao Xinhui saw that Zhao Ping had gone crazy, she quickly dodged and said angrily to Zhao Ping, Zhao Ping, are you crazy? What are you doing? You shameless B***tch. Look at how I've scratched your face. How are you going to seduce my big brother Yuan? Zhao Ping shouted. Zhao Xinhui hurriedly ran to the family Qin's courtyard. Zhao Xinhui's voice wasn't low. Hearing Zhao Xinhui's voice, Qin Yuan, who was in the room, thought that he was hallucinating. However, after listening carefully, he found that it was still Zhao Xinhui's voice. Did Zhao Xinhui really come to his house? Could it be that they were looking for him? Had she suddenly thought it through and decided not to marry that young Master Meng? Was she here to tell him about it? This meant that he had a place in Zhao Xinhui's heart. She cared about him. Otherwise, she wouldn't have come to look for him. If that was the case, the Qin Yuan would not blame Zhao Xinhui. As long as Zhao Xinhui changed her mind, he would definitely be willing to be with her when he had the ability. Qin Yuan climbed down from the bed agitatedly. He didn't look as weak as he did before. Now that Zhao Xinhui was here, he seemed to be abnormally energetic. Qin Yuan hurriedly came out of the room to see if it was really Zhang Xinhui. When he came out and saw her, the corners of his mouth couldn't help but curl up. It really was her. Zhao Ping was wearing a beautiful dress today. She was even prettier than before. Compared to that ugly Zhao Ping, she was like heaven and earth. Qin Yuan's gaze was instantly attracted to Zhao Xinhui. At this moment, Zhao Ping rushed over and looked like she was about to hit Zhao Xinhui. Qin Yuan's brows were instantly filled with anger. What was this Zhao Ping doing? How dare she hit Zhao Xinhui? She was too much. Chapter 1208. Zhao Ping, what are you doing? Qin Yuan berated her fiercely. Zhao Ping was originally in the midst of chasing after him, but Qin Yuan's sudden appearance stunned her. Big brother Yuan. Zhao Ping saw that Qin Yuan was angry. She looked at Qin Yuan nervously, afraid that Qin Yuan would scold her. Zhao Ping, you vicious woman. You really beat up anyone you catch. You even treat your aunt like this. At the very least, your aunt is your elder. Qin Yuan reprimanded her angrily. Then, he looked at Zhao Xinhui with concern and asked Zhao Xinhui, Aunt, how are you? Are you hurt? Seeing Qin Yuan's reprimand and concern for Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping felt a strong sense of jealousy rising in her heart. Her aunt, this B***tch, as long as she appeared, Qin Yuan's gaze would always be on her. Big brother Yuan. It's all because my aunt came over. She wanted to seduce you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made a move. Big brother Yuan, you mustn't be charmed by her. You know what kind of woman she is. Zhao Ping shouted in front of Qin Yuan, afraid that Qin Yuan's soul would be seduced by Zhao Xinhui again. Zhao Ping, what nonsense are you spouting? If you dare to spout nonsense again, do you believe that I won't tear your mouth apart? Qin Yuan said angrily. Seeing how Qin Yuan was so protective of Zhao Xinhui, Zhao Ping knew that it was useless no matter how much she said. She might as well shut up now to prevent Qin Yuan from getting angry. Big brother Yuan. Hurry up and leave. Don't hang around in front of me. I feel annoyed just looking at you. Qin Yuan complained. When he saw Zhao Ping, It was as if he had seen something filthy. The good impression that he had built up with Zhao Ping, with great difficulty, was completely wiped out by Zhao Xinhui's arrival. Zhao Ping pouted, feeling wronged. Oh, Zhao Ping reluctantly walked to the kitchen. She was worried about the situation in Qin Yuan. After Qin Yuan finished scolding Zhao Ping, he turned to Zhao Xinhui with a gentle look on his face. Auntie, why did you come to our house today? Are you here for me? Qin Yuan asked excitedly. Zhao Xinhui nodded. Yes, I'm here for you. Hearing Zhao Xinhui's words, Qin Yuan became even more excited. Is that so, Auntie? Qin Yuan rubbed his hands together. His originally pale face became much rosier. Yes, Zhao Xinhui nodded. Qin Yuan smiled shyly and asked, Auntie, what did you come here for? Actually, it's nothing much. I just need your help. Zhao Xinhui said calmly. What is it, Auntie? Tell me. If I can help, I'll definitely help. Qin Yuan said excitedly. Actually, it's nothing much. I just need you to ask Zhao Ping, if she can lend me her wedding dress. That girl is very stingy. I went to ask her to lend it to me, but she refused. So I can only come to you. If you ask her, she'll probably agree to it. Zhao Xinhui knew very well that it was better to come to Qin Yuan than to beg Zhao Ping humbly. After all, even if he begged Zhao Ping would still refuse. However, it was easy to talk to Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping was very afraid of Qin Yuan. As long as Qin Yuan agreed, what could Zhao Ping say? Chapter 1209. It turned out that Zhao Xinhui had come to him not because she didn't want to get married anymore and wanted to be with him, but because she wanted to borrow Zhao Ping's wedding gown. Hence, it was still impossible for him and Zhao Xinhui to be together. He suddenly felt a sense of emptiness in his heart. It was very uncomfortable. However, in front of Zhao Xinhui, Qin Yuan couldn't get angry at all. He was afraid that he would make Zhao Xinhui unhappy. At the end of the day, he still wanted to be with Zhao Xinhui. If he went overboard at this time, Zhao Xinhui would give up on him. Then, it would be even more impossible for him to be with Zhao Xinhui in the future. Seeing that Qin Yuan didn't say anything, Zhao Xinhui thought that Qin Yuan was unhappy, so she acted coquettishly and begged, Can you please let me borrow Ping's wedding gown? I just want to be a little more glamorous when I get married. I can't let people look down on me, right? Qin Yuan, if you like me and want my best interests, you definitely can't bear to see me get married in such a shabby manner. After Zhao Xinhui finished speaking, Qin Yuan was too embarrassed to say anything, so he stammered, Well, Qin Yuan, can you do it or not? Just say something. Don't dawdle like this, okay? Zhao Xinhui said impatiently. She thought to herself that Qin Yuan was really too stingy. He was a grown man, but he couldn't even lend her a wedding gown. Qin Yuan was afraid that Zhao Xinhui would really get angry, so he frowned and replied, Auntie, it's not that I don't want to lend it to you, but this wedding gown belongs to Zhao Ping, she has to agree to it herself, right? Zhao Xinhui rolled her eyes at Qin Yuan. Zhao Ping, is already married to you. Don't tell me you can't even order her around. Then what's the use of a grown man like you? After being scolded by Zhao Xinhui, Qin Yuan lowered his head, looking a little embarrassed. Don't you? Can't you just say something? If you can't, then I'm leaving. I don't have time to waste with you. Zhao Xinhui said angrily. Qin Yuan hurriedly pulled Zhao Xinhui back. Auntie, don't leave. I didn't say no. Let me talk to Zhao Ping. But can you promise me on one condition? Zhao Xinhui frowned when she saw that Qin Yuan was trying to negotiate with her. She replied, Conditions? What condition? You just say it first. Auntie, it's nothing. It's just, can you give me a kiss? Just so small kisses you know that I like you. But, as Qin Yuan spoke, he lowered his eyes, looking a little disappointed. When Zhao Xinhui heard Qin Yuan's condition, she rolled her eyes. She felt that it wasn't a difficult thing, so she agreed without hesitation. Sure, a kiss, it's not a big deal. With that, Zhao Ping hurriedly kissed Qin Yuan on the cheek. With a smack, Qin Yuan's heart was stirred by Zhao Ping's kiss. Zhao Ping was in the kitchen. She couldn't help but poke her head out to take a look. When she saw this scene, she almost exploded in anger. This is too much. B*tch. How shameless. She seduced my man in broad daylight, and even kissed him shamelessly. Zhao Ping muttered under her breath. If Qin Yuan hadn't been standing by the side, Zhao Ping would have rushed up to Zhao Xinhui and ripped Zhao Xinhui's mouth apart. Chapter 12:10. Zhao Ping didn't get angry. After a while, she heard Qin Yuan yelling at the top of his lungs. Zhao Ping, come out. Zhao Ping walked over to Qin Yuan with a face full of resentment. Following Qin Yuan, she asked, Big brother Yuan, why did you call me out? Qin Yuan instructed indifferently. Take out your wedding dress and lend it to your aunt for a day. After Zhao Ping heard Qin Yuan's words, she was so angry that her lungs almost exploded. She thought that Qin Yuan would say something. She didn't expect him to ask her to lend her wedding dress to Zhao Xinhui. She knew that Zhao Xinhui definitely didn't come over for good. Now, it seemed like she had bragged in front of Qin Yuan and directly asked Qin Yuan to lend her wedding dress to Zhao Xinhui. Her aunt was really too much. What right did she have to treat her like this? Big brother Yuan, this is my wedding dress. I don't want to lend it to my aunt. Zhao Ping pouted. You don't want to lend it? Qin Yuan's brows instantly furrowed, and he looked very unhappy. Zhao Ping nodded resolutely. Yes, I won't lend it to you. I won't lend it to anyone but my aunt. In any case, she couldn't let her aunt get away with it. She just couldn't let this B*tch have her way. Qin Yuan, that last Ping, said she doesn't want to lend it to you. Look, she doesn't even listen to a man like you. She doesn't give a damn about you at all. Qin Yuan's heartbreak would spread like wildfire. When Qin Yuan heard this, his face instantly darkened. He said coldly to Zhao Ping, if you don't lend it to me today, see how I'll deal with you. Big brother Yuan. Zhao Ping looked at Qin Yuan with an aggrieved expression. Why did she have to lend her things to her aunt? Don't you understand what I'm saying? Hurry up and bring me your wedding dress. Qin Yuan said as he pushed Zhao Ping hard. Zhao Ping lost her balance and fell. Her butt hit a stone on the ground, and she cried out in pain. However, Qin Yuan didn't feel sorry for her at all. Instead, he continued to order Zhao Ping around. Why are you still lying on the ground? Why don't you go now? Zhao Ping met Qin Yuan's angry eyes and didn't dare to make a sound. Big brother Yuan, I'll go get it now. As he spoke, he struggled to get up from the ground and limped towards his room. After a while, he took out his wedding dress and handed it to the Qin Yuan. Big brother Yuan. Here, Zhao Ping said weakly. At this moment her heart was bleeding. Her big brother Yuan was too much. She was his wife now. How could he side with another woman and not consider her feelings at all? Qin Yuan took the wedding dress from Zhao Ping's hands and handed it to Zhao Xinhui. Aunt here. This is the wedding dress. Take it. Zhao Xinhui took it happily. At the same time, she smirked at Zhao Ping. She said sarcastically, Ping, didn't you say that you wouldn't lend it to me? Look, you're still lending it to me now. Since you're going to lend it to me sooner or later, why make me go through the trouble of making an extra trip? You. Zhao Ping glared at Zhao Xinhui and bit her lower lip. Seeing Zhao Xinhui's smug look, she became even angrier. B*tch. She'd better wait and see. Chapter 12:11. Zhao Xinhui completely ignored the look in Zhao Ping's eyes. After getting the wedding gown she wanted, she didn't want to waste any more time in the family Qin. Instead, she bid farewell to Qin Yuan. Since little Ping has lent me the gown, I'll leave first. Qin Yuan felt that she had only stayed with Zhao Xinhui for a few minutes. She didn't expect Zhao Xinhui to leave so soon. She was very reluctant to part with her, and hurriedly said to Zhao Xinhui, Little aunt, aren't you tired after such a long journey? Why don't you take a rest at my house and go back after dinner? I'll ask my mother to cook more delicious food for you. Zhao Xinhui asked softly in her heart. The family Qin was so poor. It would be strange if they had delicious food. Why don't I go back by myself? When I go back, I can ask my mother to cook delicious food for me. Because of the generous betrothal gifts sent by young Master Meng, Zhao Xinhui ate meat for every meal at home these days. Her life was so good that she didn't have to stay at the family Qin. Therefore, Zhao Xinhui waved her hand at Qin Yuan and said, "It's okay. I'll go back. I'm not tired. I rented an ox cart to come here. They're still waiting for me. I'll take the ox cart back later." The disappointment on Qin Yuan's face deepened. "Little aunt, are you really not going to stay for dinner?" Qin Yuan knew that after Zhao Xinhui went back this time, she didn't know when she would be able to see Zhao Xinhui again. She was reluctant to part with her. She only hoped that she could stay with Zhao Xinhui for a while longer and see Zhao Xinhui a few more times. This way, she would be more reluctant to part with Zhao Xinhui. No, you guys eat. I'll leave first," Zhao Xinhui said. She was too lazy to argue with Qin Yuan and hurriedly ran out of the family Qin's courtyard. Even after Zhao Xinhui's figure disappeared, Qin Yuan still looked reluctant. "Big brother Yuan," Zhao Ping'er mumbled jealously. "Why are you calling me? Hurry up and get busy in the kitchen," Qin Yuan said to Zhao Ping'er fiercely. Then, he dragged his weak body into the room. The Shuilan village was very lively, because Zhao Xinhui held a joyous occasion. Early in the morning, the sound of firecrackers could be heard, crackling non-stop. Young Master Meng's wedding reception could be said to be very grand. Many people were arranged to come. For young Master Meng's wealth, this kind of extravagance was nothing. But for the villagers, they had never seen such luxurious palanquins and horses. He felt that Zhao Xinhui was really lucky to be able to climb up to such a rich family. She directly flew out of the mountain nest and became a phoenix. It really made everyone envious. Many people in the village were discussing. During this period of time, old Zhao's family had joyous occasions year after year. It made people jealous. How long had it been? The two unmarriageable ladies in the family were married off one after another. Although Zhao Ping'er's family was a little inferior, she had married a normal person. Moreover, Qin Yuan's appearance was pretty. As for Zhao Xinhui, it was needless to say. After marrying a rich man, she could be said to have a good life in the future. She did not need to live such a hard life as a villager. There were even many rumors that old Zhao's family had a good ancestral grave and protected their descendants. Therefore, each of them had a better life than the other. Chapter 12:12. Zhao Yin'er was even better. She had a relationship with the heir of the crown prince, which was better than young Master Meng. Sigh, old Zhao's ancestral grave is emitting smoke. We can't even be envious. Isn't that so? No matter how hard we work, and how good our luck is, it's not as good as their ancestors. Old Zhao's family doesn't have ordinary happy events. They are all very happy events. Let's not talk about the children's marriages. I heard that old Zhao's eldest grandson went directly to the capital to study this year. He will definitely pass the exam and come back as a high-ranking official. TSK. Where in the surrounding villages can a high-ranking official come from? Old Zhao's family is amazing. Yes. It's a pity that we can't think of it. We can't even be envious. We can only ask a feng shui master to come over and take a look at our ancestral grave. Let's see if it can be like old Zhao's family. Happy events are coming one after another. I wouldn't have thought of it if you didn't mention it. I'll also ask a feng shui master to take a look. Ever since my father was buried, my family has been unlucky. Let's see if our ancestral grave can improve our luck. That's for sure. Hurry up. This matter can't be delayed. Yes. I know. I'll ask around tomorrow and find out where I can invite a feng shui master. In the courtyard of old Zhao's house, the people who came to attend the wedding banquet sat together and chattered about it. They talked about the matter in an extremely mysterious way. However, the villagers were superstitious and felt that these rumors were very reasonable. Otherwise, They couldn't think of any reason why old Zhao's family would suddenly have a change of fortune. There were so many happy events in a year. They probably couldn't find a single family in the surrounding villages. In Zhao Xinhui's room, Zhao Xinhui was dressing herself up in front of the mirror. After applying rouge and face powder, wearing jewelry, and wearing Zhao Pinger's wedding dress, Zhao Xinhui was more gorgeous than usual. She looked delicate and beautiful, like a great beauty. Not to mention the men. Even the women in the room couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. This was especially true for the other branches. Seeing Zhao Xinhui like this, they felt very uncomfortable in their hearts. Especially Li Chuiying and Zhao Jing'er. Originally, Zhao Jing'er and young Master Zheng's marriage was settled. She had given young Master Zheng such good conditions, which was considered very good. However, compared to Zhao Xinhui, it seemed insignificant. After all, young Master Meng's family was much better than young Master Zheng's. Zhao Jing'er thought that since her aunt was older than her and couldn't get married at her age, she should marry someone with poor conditions. Who knew that Zhao Xinhui was so lucky? Seeing that Zhao Xinhui was gorgeously dressed, with a golden bracelet on her wrist, a golden hairpin in her hair, and a large round pearl around her neck, the jealousy in her heart grew stronger. Young Master Zheng did not give her such a good thing. Why was it that even her aunt was able to marry better than her? Li Chuiying stood at the side and couldn't help but roll her eyes. Aren't you dressed up to seduce people like a vixen? Zhao Jing'er poked Li Chuiying and nagged in Li Chuiying's ear. Mother, keep your voice down. Don't let aunt hear you. Li Chuiying didn't care. So what if she hears? What's there to be afraid of? Anyway, I'm telling the truth. I'm not talking nonsense. Chapter 12-13. At the end of the day, she was still very envious of her aunt. At least he didn't marry her aunt, so that she could give birth to a child. Of course, it was because young Master Zheng married her, so that she could give birth to a child. If she couldn't give birth to a son for young Master Zheng, her fate in the future could be said to be very miserable. Unlike her aunt, it didn't matter whether she could give birth to a child or not. Young Master Zheng still sent all these good things over. Seeing Zhao Xinhui dressed so luxuriously, Zhao Jing'er felt very upset. Seeing what Zhao Jing'er was thinking, Li Chuiying hurriedly comforted Zhao Jing'er. Jing'er, don't be fooled by how pretty your aunt is. It's useless. She's still a little younger now and can catch young Master Meng's eye. Just you wait. When she's older and her face isn't so pretty anymore. Let's see if young Master Zheng will still treasure her then. He'll probably drive her back to our hometown. But Jing'er, you're different. If you can give birth to a child for young Master Meng, it'd be best if you can give birth to a chubby little boy. Then your status in young Master Meng's family will be consolidated in the future. No matter whether you'll grow old and ugly in the future, as long as you have a child, the Meng family will treat you well. After being comforted by Li Chuiying, Zhao Jing'er thought about it and agreed. Young Master Meng was interested in her aunt's face, while young Master Zheng was interested in her giving birth to a child for him, so that he could carry on the Zheng family's bloodline. People would grow old and ugly, so giving birth to a child was more secure. Zhao Jing'er's expression softened a little. She nodded at Li Chuiying and said, Mother, I understand. Li Chuiying chuckled in response. It's good that you understand. After Zhao Xinhui was done with her makeup, she deliberately asked the people in the room, How is it? Do I look good like this? Zhao Xinhui grinned and looked at herself in the mirror. She was very satisfied, but she also hoped to get the affirmation of the others in the room. That was how people were. They liked to be praised. Only then would they feel a sense of accomplishment. Hua Chunhua, who was standing at the side, praised Zhao Xinhui to the heavens. She's beautiful, of course she's beautiful. My daughter is as beautiful as a flower. Those who don't know would think that she's a fairy who has descended to the mortal world. If young Master Meng lifts the red veil at night and sees such a beautiful face, won't he be infatuated? Zhao Xinhui lowered her head shyly. Mother, your compliments are too fake. Even if I'm good-looking, it's not like what you said, right? Hua Chunhua chuckled and said, That's right. My Hui, Is so pretty. It's said that clothes make the man, and gold make the Buddha. You're even prettier than the young miss of a prominent family. Look at these glittering hairpins, bracelets, and earrings. Who wouldn't say that they're beautiful? While Hu Chunhua was praising her, she also called out to Li Chuiying and Zhao Jing. Second daughter-in-law Jing, tell me, isn't Hui beautiful today? Chapter 12:14. Although Li Chuiying said so, she did not think so in her heart. If Jing could wear such beautiful clothes, wear so much jewelry and dress up well, she would definitely look better than Zhao Xinhui. After Li Chuiying finished speaking, Hu Chunhua could not stop smiling. She kept whispering in Zhao Xinhui's ear. Hui, did you hear that? Your second sister-in-law is praising you. If everyone thinks you look good, then you must look good. The corners of Zhao Xinhui's mouth could not help but curl up. She was very proud of herself. Jing hasn't said anything yet. Jing, what they say is wrong. Tell me, do I look good like this? Zhao Xinhui trusted the judgment of people her age. Her second sister-in-law and her mother were at her age. How could they know whether she was beautiful or not? Zhao Jing glanced at Zhao Xinhui. The corners of her mouth could not help but twitch. Her expression was very ugly. In her opinion, Zhao Xinhui was showing off in front of her. She was already very jealous. When Zhao Xinhui deliberately said that, her heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. Jing, tell me quickly, why are you in a daze? Zhao Xinhui urged. Zhao Jing pursed her lips. Auntie, what are you talking about? Of course I look good. I look very good. Zhao Xinhui sighed. Well, in that case, I'm relieved. Hu Chunhua beckoned Zhao Xinhui and said, Come, Hui, when you're done, quickly cover your head with the red veil. The people who are going to pick you up will be here soon. Zhao Xinhui nodded in response. Okay, mother, I know. With that, she covered her head with the red veil. When Zhao Xinhui was done and waiting in the room, Hu Chunhua saw that Li Chuiying was still in the room. She said to Li Chuiying unhappily, Second daughter-in-law, what are you doing in the room? Your sister-in-law is busy outside. Why don't you hurry over and help? Li Chuiying had deliberately stayed in Zhao Xinhui's house to slack off. There were so many things going on outside. It was not her Jinger's wedding, so why did she have to worry so much? Mother, I can't bear to part with little sister. If his little sister got married, he didn't know how long it would be before he could see his little sister again. So he couldn't bear to part with her. Right now, I just want to take a few more glances at my little sister, so that I won't miss her in the future. Li Chuiying said hypocritically. After saying this, even she herself felt that it was very fake. Hu Chunhua snorted coldly. Naturally, she had guessed Li Chuiying's thoughts. Enough, don't talk about this. Who doesn't know that you're slacking off? Hurry up and help out. You're still wasting time in the room. You're busy now. When Hui's parents pick her up, we'll have to start the banquet. Li Chuiying reluctantly dawdled for a while before slowly walking outside. Okay, mother, I'll go now. Hu Chunhua pointed at Zhao Jinger and said, Jinger, don't slack off. Hurry up and help out. This is your aunt's wedding. Everyone is hungry. Hurry up and help out. Zhao Jinger was unwilling, but she did not dare to say anything to Hu Chunhua. She could only nod and say, Okay, grandmother, I know. With that, she did the same thing as Li Chuiying. Out of the room. In the courtyard of old Zhao's house, several women were busy. You're tuning in to the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.